still dealing with Thursday being Critical Role nights.
Oh, I'm talking about in general. Like,
Oh, in general?
yeah,
Oh.
my video last night only got 7 views total.
Hmm.
And I've been pushing past 20 easy mostly.
Okay.
Huh. That's weird.
Was that Grayley just now?
Oh my god, they just blow up. D, you have to use Sunshot with this Titan build. It's just dumb.
Yeah, which build are you running with exactly?
Oh, the one that Ken posted, the 2-time restoration.
Ah.
Like, unkillable Titan. Because I'm just going, I'm just standing here. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this game now.
All right. So anyway, to finish my last thought there,
Ooh, focus.
I'll get on camera in a second here. D and Bill.
Yes. Yes.
Monday, after we're in the afterglow that is playing Val for the first time, Val the Disciple, we're gonna go. I'm gonna take you guys through the 30th anniversary dungeon, and we'll go through the new dungeon too. So, just be ready for a day of gaming on Monday. That's how we're going to celebrate Memorial Day. Not celebrate, but honor.
So you're fine, Grayley. I was just laughing my ass off. I was like, "Hey, there she is!" A little more up front than usual, but there she is.
Okay, exiting to desktop.
Poor Scott's
Switching.
just all out of focus. Well, so the reason why I do both is because that's the only way I can get everybody to, like, so I push through, I go through Discord in order to project the music I play so that the guys can hear it. That's why that's streaming, but it's my workaround because I don't know how else to push it out. Plus, you get the cool visualizer.
My face is now stuffed. I'll be right back.
Okay, you have fun with that.
Roger.
Okay, and I need to. That's muted.
I am a Winamp dude. Started with that. I used to obsess about skins. I would always make the skins and do freaky, weird setups. That was my jam.
Tonight.
Oh my god. What's wrong with your thing? You got a piece of tape over
I
it?
don't know. At least you can see my smile.
Yes, yeah.
Barracks going through buffering and optimizing
Right,
the
yeah,
system.
Barracks defragmenting.
His system.
I got messed up by Copperfield.
I mean, well, yeah. I guess I should turn my video on.
Maybe.
Or not, who knows.
Yeah.
Okay, it's good in the test. Okay. Maybe I'm good now.
Maybe I unloaded everything too easily and it's got to crash your stuff.
As my
Yeah,
camera was
so.
pointed at child height for teacher conference night.
Well, that makes more sense then. That's why I was blotting everything out. It's like, we're not going to be looking at his midriff.
There we go.
Ah, back to normal.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know. I
don't-
think it looked better before, but
You
Oh,
don't want
God.
the fuzzy.
well, the background was still crisp.
Oh, the background was amazingly crisp, but you were just sort of like, womp womp.
All right. All right. Now that I'm back, I need to make sure that Grayley knows Winamp is the best.
Simply.
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing. Winamp dudes. Wow, okay.
The visualizations are the best.
They are.
I'm a iTunes man, so
It was media play without the cult following.
Let me pop out the chat.
This visualization's pretty good. Oh no.
the bubbles.
Yeah, the bubbles was good for you know, the
You
whimsical.
can tell I'm not using the green screen because my ears have disappeared again.
I can't. I'm gonna get myself one of them floppy green screens myself.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was looking at, like, what if we did, like, custom dice? Like, I finally heard back from the person that I was trying to get custom dice. Right?
Yes.
It would be $500
Whoa.
to get, you know, 5 sets of 10 dice. It's $10 per die. And I was like,
Oh, okay.
oh, so maybe I'll just get, like, 1 set for D.
I would totally
I was
front
like,
that.
there's
He
not,
better
like, a
keep.
bulk discount or anything like that. So I'm gonna keep shopping around.
Well, D's got my favorite Shadows Dice of all time, the blood die.
Well,
Every time in person, I always play with the red D10s
Which
that you got in your collection of dice.
Yeah, I've got like a big batch of 20 of the bastards. Because
Yeah,
they're
all
silver
blood
numer.
red.
Yeah, they're blood red and silver numerals.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
well,
nice.
what I really want is like Vampire Masquerade dice, but just change the special 10.
These are unique. I don't know if you'll be able to actually see. It might focus. Yeah.
Yeah, those are
Oh
cool.
yeah, those look good.
These are unique because they were hand painted, so they only exist like this. But they were for Mage originally, and they're awesome dice because I can really see what the hell's going on.
See, I have my set.
Yep.
That's cool.
Oh wait, it disappeared.
There you
we
go. As long as it's near-ish your face.
Right. This is what my wife got me. That's like got the full. Let's see. It's a full set. These blue ones are my like from when I was 8 years old. And
Yeah.
like from my first D&D ever. But this thing my wife got me is like a full-on die roller
Oh, that's cool.
tower.
Wicked. Just wicked.
Wicked cool.
Because my daughter likes to hurl dice across the table.
Put your
Is it
hand
to
on the
beat-
dice. Put your hand in
beat
the box.
20s into
Put your
submission.
die in the box.
You know,
Yeah.
whenever
But
I
me-
was playing early on, I treated it like a sort of fanatical kind of curling. Just
Well, she was like, that's how they throw them in like Cuphead. Like yes, they're playing craps,
which goes against the walls and
right?
I love that show, by the way.
Oh, that's right, they made a show of it. I've been playing the game. Holy crap, that game is hard.
Oh, the show is just as demented as the game.
Oh, good. The game is like I went and talked to this dude, and he's like, "You've died 174 times," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't doubt it."
what was it that was holding Drew up again?
His kids.
Fighting kids. Wonder how many he can take at once. What's that meme? Like, if they came in waves, how many kindergartners do you think you could take at once? If like every 4th wave, then a 5th grader joined them or something?
like teacher survival.
Oh my gosh, that cat.
Send help. He said-
Yes, I'm going to let you out of the room. Come on, Your Majesty.
Yeah.
I
I heard
know.
that. Did you guys, D, did you get the massive storm that came through earlier? Dude,
Nope.
it was like a little localized thing. Like, I was at my my mom's house, and suddenly there was thunder, lightning, and it started pouring, like dumpster pouring. It was crazy.
I drove through it, and
I got
there
rain.
were-
I have
there
to
were
say that I
tons
did get
of
rain.
accidents. Yeah, I drove through that on the way to the and back, which is
Oh. Did she finally get a chance to return?
yeah, she's finally home.
Yay.
She's officially passed out.
What channel are you showing in the stream?
I think you're not showing the right channel.
I changed it. Swear to God.
It's
That's
not the
90
OOC
memes.
channel. Yeah, you're showing the memes, which is not safe for work.
That's fine. Neither's the OOC channel. Or OCC, rather.
Damn it, T. Now I still got that in my head. Elmo no like this.
He's punching babies. Is that Will Ferrell? That is Will Ferrell.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's a funny movie.
He went to punch a dude and ended up hitting a baby instead.
Oh, that was the election one, right?
Yeah.
God. Will Ferrell's such a prize. Fucking love that guy.
You gotta love someone who can just absolutely not care about what he's about to do to you or around him.
Well, and as evidence of that, I mean, he was pre-Pink Guy. Whenever I saw him on Conan O'Brien, dressed up in his leprechaun outfit with, it can be barely called an outfit, but he had the cap, he had the open chest and vest, and then he had like freaking shamrock green spandex like tidy whities
Yeah.
basically, and
No
you could
shame.
see the top of his crack when he came out
Yeah.
and stuff, and he would just like sit on Conan's desk and stuff, like it was. He just unmitigatingly just ransacked the place.
Man, I've been so
him.
busy today. I haven't even been able to engage in any community stuff or anything. You could tell.
See,
that
I have
just,
a
like,
hard
walked
time-
Out of the...
I have a hard time doing the same thing. Most of the time I'm like throughout my day just kind of like trying to get to main chats if I'm not writing stuff, and then my phone will blow up because I've got Casually Hardcore just blasting my phone to pieces. So I'm just watching going like beep 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 beep. I'm like, that's not
Oh,
mine.
in the background you hear beep beep pew, beep beep pew,
Yeah,
beep beep
well,
pew.
actually, my phone kind of goes a little bit PTSD. It does it once and then just lets 50 of them come up, and then it does it again.
Yeah.
Well,
And
no.
so I'm just massively
CH
overwhelmed.
group.
I'm just kind of like, ugh, I'll get to it later. Like,
Now you know how I feel when the two of you start talking about the CRB stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna have to read that over the weekend.
That's the
I'm gonna
real
have to
reason for
set myself
threads.
3-hour block of time this weekend.
Yep.
Just
That's
to review
actually what
this.
happens is I hear 3 beeps in a row. I go over there and it's like, dead time. I just peek into the room.
Or Kim, my favorite is, they're just having a casual conversation.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, don't be sorry.
Don't ever be sorry. It's,
Yeah.
There
It's
are
fun. I
these,
look
like,
at our threads. I see like the
Moments of
history of our threads.
lucidity that I'll just be like, D. I was up. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I had a question about degrading armor based on acid rain. And if you look at manufacturing standards as they're going over the next 50 years, there's no way that Kevlar would hold up. Let's start writing this out. And you're like, well, all right, let's go.
Yeah. Or the
You
times
just
you
yes
assault me.
and my crazy.
Oh, it's actually the best thing ever, because especially when you pick up the phone and are doing it that way and it's going ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. I'm like,
Well, because it does it in like one line increments. Because
yeah. Well, I'm just impressed by
I'm-
the speed at which they appear. It's just rapid fire thumb texting.
Yeah, I have this little port in the back that I just like plug in USB-D, and I
Right.
just like.
USB D.
Scott's version of dream journaling.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dream journal.
Oh my god. I have
So,
tried to
as
do
we're
that.
waiting for Drew to get back, let's do a recap so that all of our one viewers are caught up on what's going on, so we can get started.
It's like snails.
Last time on
Previously on
Night
Shadows.
City Adventures.
I'm gonna have to
Oh
start
no!
coming
Previously
up
on Nightlights.
On Nightlights, hell yes.
with Scott, you were like, you wrote that down, right? I'm like, yeah, of course I did.
I was like pinned.
Yeah.
You pinned it faster
You
than.
know what? The I was trying to think like what tickled me so much about that. There's like a Dresden anthology called Ghost Stories, and I just love it because it's just a bunch of like these little like 50-page things. And I was like, that's such a clever title for that collection of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so Nightlights, I'm like, yes, that is perfect.
Yeah. Can start doing some
And I just
nightlights
did
and
like
stuff.
half an hour of Hagrid voice, so you know.
I shouldn't have said
Barrick, if Barrick's gonna slip into some Robbie Coltrane, I apologize. You're a wizard, Ivar.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Hey, D. Let's get your live thoughts here. Over in the casually hardcore in the Evo Crassi
react.
live channel, a plethora of waggles. Evo got a new desk and he set up his setup. Look at that. Look at that station.
Holy
It's
crap!
beautiful.
The vertical.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Is he filming Swordfish too?
Dude, that's the kind of setup that I want. He's got that octopus get up and going. Holy
I've got
crap.
2 massive screens, but I would love to have a third one up here, or maybe 2 smaller ones over here. But because I've got 27 inchers, so it's
Well, and he's
Yeah.
rocking out his cable management because holy shit, can't see
That's
a
beautiful.
thing. Cannot
Yeah.
see a thing. That's
10
awesome.
out of 10. Here, 10.
Hey, Drew.
Drew! My God, wow. I gave myself a platinum dick award just immediately. I'm gonna send this separately to tell you guys what I about said out loud, and you can tell me if it was a good idea to hold my tongue.
Well,
Probably
now
is. No, I'm
First,
curious.
you had my attention.
Now you have my attention. What?
It's coming. Don't worry. It's coming to you. And I'll hit
God.
Bill.
Too
I'll
soon.
hit there.
Oh god, you're sending it in DMs, okay?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not gonna send this in any place people can see it.
No.
Oh my God. The last thing I
Abs-
sent Drew, I'm bringing up.
Oh,
To the top.
Wise choice, sir.
Okay, I thought so. The second, like, for once, my mental, like, or my front brain was like, nope, hold on before that leaves your mouth.
Well, that's the brain that'll tell you don't eat that mushroom, right? That's the survival instinct brain.
Good. That was a good one. You gave yourself your own award on that one, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was my first reaction. Anyway, we're here now. Drew,
Yeah.
how are you doing? You off school starting tomorrow?
No,
Next week?
two.
You just keep piling on the pain, aren't you?
Well, but Scott was off school, or his kids are off school starting today, so I thought maybe you were too.
No.
Oh,
I still have 2 more weeks.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
Okay.
Backlit. Yay.
2 weeks.
Oh, right. Last week we got Dark Knight to come to the rescue
And White
with
Knight,
with the White Knight,
And-
Michael.
Silver Knight, and all the Rainbow Knights that are gonna solve the problem for us.
And
Yeah,
the Care Bears.
solve the problem not so much, but at least take
Voltron.
off some of these problems. Voltron. Oh god. Always at the end of the day, it gets really humid. It makes my eyes itch, and I don't know why.
Oh, Grayly, that's hilarious. Uh, I don't know why that made me chuckle so hard.
A roving group of
Yeah, because I just heard that in my accent. You know, like when it gets real thick.
Yeah.
y'all
Here, I'll
making
just-
his nips hard.
Y'all making his nips hard with all that attention.
Nothing quite as funny as a dirty old man with a southern accent.
Well, you know, it fits the bill.
All right, so as we were
Okay.
trying to say here,
Refocus.
recap was the original idea.
2 of the Power Rangers showed up, Dark Knight and White Knight. And Ivar reached out to Violet to
Get our robots.
the 23 robots.
Okay,
And anything else she can send.
Right.
I gotta calm down.
What are you doing?
No, I just again another very much something you don't say on stream joke came to mind that Scott triggered this time.
Well,
You'll
okay.
have to find it
roll
later.
tonight.
All right.
So, okay. You guys were kind of.
There goes Ken's run for Congress. Oh, want to become famous by followers, primes, and viewers.
That's been coming up
Mount-
again.
Viewers.
At idon'tgiveashit.com.
So, you guys were barricaded behind a.
Sorry.
Well responded. Good job. So you guys were barricaded behind what seemed to be a partially destroyed building wall, with him out in the center of what looks to be some sort of crater. You've taken down close to 6 or 7 vehicles using specific strategies, one lobbing golems, the other one shooting rockets. And you've been able to deter any kind of air support from getting too close, while you've also taken fire from one of the vehicles that were in air, with Agent X guarding the group as they moved from one position to the next, getting out of the way and out of the open. So he had his barricade overhead, and he was kind of keeping that as a slanted cover next to the wall, so you guys had even better coverage. Barrack had moved back to the outer ridge of that same
Yeah,
blockaded
I was,
wall,
like,
and he was doing
Peeking out and
doing turkey peeks and firing at the enemy. And he'd gotten into a bit of a scuffle with him. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to penetrate any of the shielding that had been going on. So it kind of left you guys. He announced at that point that he's using some kind of defensive magic to prevent being damaged at this time.
Oh
So,
yeah, I sent a message to you that I was gonna aura sight him,
yes.
and then I didn't actually do it.
well,
Like,
we
heads up.
You said it.
I'm gonna aura sight.
yeah.
You said it. Yeah.
Yeah, we just had to stop. That's all.
Yeah.
Got to that end point. Okay. Shout out to Dark Fantasy Studio for these freaking soundtracks because they're amazing.
They are.
Oh, you know what? I just realized for whatever reason it was muted. There we go. I've unmuted. I thought it was a little too quiet in here.
Well, okay, so what we have right now is you had the order, Ken. So if you want to
Yep, let me just pull it up. for a second
locate
here.
it, I think we went through a whole round of everybody.
We did. Let's see. Combat sense order is Jekyll, X, Copperfield, Riv, Barrack, and Ivar.
All right, so Jekyll will be
And Blue is
supporting.
protecting Ivar. So
Yeah, Blue would be
And,
protecting him.
Where was Copperfield in the rankings?
Well, right now you
Uh,
guys are behind
he's
wall,
third.
and he's third.
It's Jekyll, then X, then Copperfield gets to do whatever he wants to do, then Riv, Barrack, and Ivar.
Okay.
And I remember I already told you guys what my current plan is with Riv, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Don't die.
What? No. No. I already have my round planned out for her.
Okay,
A week in advance.
we'll go through. We'll go through what Barrack ends up seeing. So, when you do the aura sight, there is a powerful and potent dark energy that's going all around his person. It more or less is coming off. I try to imagine if it were like fire and thorns mixed together, all together, and it's undulating towards this solar plexus where it is pulsing outward from there, and you can see all kinds of systemic corruption throughout his system. And just at a vague glance, you can tell that there is a lot of energy coursing through him, a lot. So, trying to, he is going to be a very, very powerful enemy, mainly because of the fact that there just doesn't seem to be a lot of slack in his reserve. So he can basically push the envelope quite a bit. And it's rather intimidating because you can see how it's drifting off of his skin at first, almost like smoke, or like his flesh has been superheated, and creating that coiling smoke look, and then it fulminates into all of the other sort of fiery, thorny type exterior, with the aura branching off of his body about a foot or more. But it does give you perspective on he is utterly and completely hostile and won't stop, and there is a lot of power backing him up. Also makes his features with the singular horn and the rest of it look extremely monstrous.
As he would.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Jekyll is going to be taking near position from where he'll move to where you guys are, where he's close to you, maintaining position where he can see any kind of aerial vehicles coming around for another pass as it has glided over the top and might be coming back for another one. He goes, "I'll just make sure to cover you. Don't worry about me. You take care of him in the center. I'll make certain that nothing can stop you from up above. And I'll coordinate my attacks with the knights." So, next up...
It's X.
Okay, so are we? So we're at this point. We still have some AVs going on. So
they're now being hassled by the knights who are gliding overhead. Which, by the way, when he's making these strategic statements, you guys hear a couple of sonic booms and a couple of crashes. You can see one of the knights going flying overhead so fast that it actually causes everything to rattle, even the shook up wall. Oh, hey! What we got going on here? Copperfield tipped $1. You'll never defeat me, it says.
Shake the fit.
Oh, that's funny. So we're gonna do a tactical roll, and he's got combat assessment. So as part of one of his programming. So we're going to use his combat assessing and tactics as to his best course of action. Mainly because he's just been holding up a defensive wall and he's looking for a hole. He's looking for that one spot where he can go attack that point, or he attacks that point himself, right?
Yep, go for it.
Strateger.
So much easier than the cult. I love the cult, but it's 15 sheets to go through. What? Yeah, right.
I got nothing to
I love
say.
my setup.
You don't see shit.
Well, at this point, brute force attack seems to be the only option, at least for now.
Okay, so he's going to do assessment shots. So he's just going to do 3 back-to-back plasma injector shots.
Gotcha.
So the
Just
AP
probing, kind of.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to close in. He's still very leery from the last time. Not with Copperfield, but with the same effect that corrupted him the last time.
Yeah.
Fire it off.
Let's see it, man. Let her rip, Tater Chip. Yep.
Gotta do the. How do you do the perfect breaks in your voice?
28, 26, and 31.
Nice.
So AP Mundane, AP Magic, Scorch.
Holy.
Oh, Bill, did you come up with Scorch before Destiny actually named Scorch?
Well, it's D's.
No, it's my terminology for a specific type of damage that burns. Yes.
You came up with it before Destiny, then.
I know,
That's
right?
hilarious. You aped them. Now everyone's gonna say that you stole from them, of course. But
Yeah. But
for
no.
context, the new update just came out this week, and one of the verbs they added to one of the new subclasses they updated is called Scorch. So you can scorch targets, and it does damage up until a point, and then it ignites and explodes. D did it before.
Okay. Well, it's just burning.
Trying to
I
give
give
credit
you
here.
herpes.
No herpes. No bad touch.
Venereal disease.
We call those STIs now.
Oh yeah, strategically sexually transmitted infections.
Strategically transmitted infection.
No. No.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I guess
I
technically.
Ivan will get him with his special sauce.
Okay then.
So, X is just going to blast off then.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Right?
Yeah. So you're
You
just
should actually
launching
watch
your.
that show. It's hilarious.
So you're launching your plasma ejector, yeah?
Yeah, and he's going to hold off his actions. Actually, what he's going to do is he's going to, because he's got the 3 melee actions, he's going to do his shield toss too. He's just going to blitz it. It's auto targeting, so it's a flat roll of strike plus 5. So it's 28. 3 28s.
Are you just doing like X's magic missile?
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, it's basically a Captain America shield that's glowing.
Yeah.
So he's like blasts off 3, and then and then you just kind of see the shield form. And then he throws it once, it pops back, throws it twice, throws it the 3rd time, and that applies shock. So it's so you have scorch damage on one, shock damage on the other. Flat 28s across the board for the shield toss, and then the rolls that we had.
Okay. So your blasts kind of end up, so you fire off. You've got one that manages to make a strike. Total damage for it?
Total damage is going to be 30.
Okay. It was AP mundane, but it doesn't have a number behind it, right?
No, it's just AP mundane, AP
Right.
magic.
Those are static armor piercing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he ends up trying to block the initial shots. So he's standing there, and he's roughly just over 6 foot, 6.5 feet tall. But you can see like hulking presence, like the way that he comes off when he's standing here in this crater as you lay off your volley, because you're going to be right where Barrick's at. So he'll be he'll peek, fired. You came back around and fired off right beside him at that point as well. 2 of the shots go wide. 1 of the shots comes in. You can see it bash through the shield that he manifests as the magic can't stop its penetration. When the plasma makes immediate contact with his body, you can see him just kind of like reel backwards, look down and see where it's at. You can see where it is cherry red in the center part of his chest at the sternum, and then he just gives this really nasty grin, but you lob your shield at the same time, which also ends up managing to cut off his sense of gloating, because that makes contact as well. And what was the damage?
In the face.
Huh?
In the face.
Yeah.
Because he'd want to do it right in the face, just
sure.
because it's Copperfield.
Yeah, it's honing
A
in.
little
So
loose tooth action in there.
Yeah. So he curb stomped him with shield, and it's going to be 25 a pop with shock.
right. Okay.
So just for reference, how many of the 3 plasma shots hit? I heard 1 miss and 2
2
hit?
missed, 1 hit.
Oh, okay.
You had it reversed.
Well, had to get something wrong. What about shield toss?
The shield hit him.
Well, all 3 attacks?
Well, he only talked about 1 shield hit, and I've only got 1 number.
It's basically it's an auto targeting, so it's a flat roll plus 5.
So you're doing 3 attacks with that?
three
Yeah,
attacks with
that's
that.
fine.
So
I'll just roll to see what the next ones are.
Okay.
Yep, it clubs him in the head the once, and actually I don't get that 3rd one because I only did 1. And then 27. Yeah, no, they all hit.
One after the other?
Yeah. So he's just going ping pong ping, like he just gets hit 3 times with the shield, and you can hear him growling as it finally like whips back, heading back to your arm.
and then he just goes chink shrink, and then you want to say that Agent X is smiling, but he's not. It's like, can a robot look smug?
Sounds like a Philip K. Dick novel.
So
Yes.
yeah. At this point, it is clear that he is now quite a bit frustrated. Although you're not really certain as to how much actual damage you're doing, as he's managed to take these hits in stride, but they are the first ones to actually make it through since he was able to deflect the other attacks entirely. So, not entirely certain exactly what you're doing to him. You're hoping that it's doing something, but he is definitely now angry. And whenever you peek back around there, Barrick, you notice that there's a flare in his aura that starts to pull together. The terrifying part about it is that you can see the magic it is being woven together, and you're going to be witness to the very first of its kind spell chain that's going to happen in Night City. So you're watching this happen.
The visualizer is perfect.
So when you see him start to pull this forward, there is this massive convulsion of energy towards his solar plexus that comes bounding outward into strands, what looks to be like mist or something of that nature, similar to what happens whenever your arcane capacitor starts to ignite. The original deflection that he had set up is dissipated, it goes away. And then you can see the interlocking glyphs and monograms starting to come around, all the way around his person, and then they split into another half sphere, creating a quartering look, and then split into sixths and eighths, and it kind of keeps doing that as he's moving along, and there are crackles all around. Ivar, your danger sense is starting to go crazy.
Does Ivar have time for an occult roll, or is it a reaction, more of a reaction?
Well, if you waddle on over to the edge there, you might be able to see what he's up to and make an occult roll, yes. Since you're actually feeling that.
Ivar very much wants to make an occult roll to kind of just see if he can figure out what's going on, to figure out how to
This is
counteract.
not covered in magic for dummies.
26 occult from Ivar.
Jesus Christ.
I love when people do that.
Fuck. That shit's amazing. I love it whenever they do that shit too.
I like the ones when they're like dunking and stuff. They're like,
Yeah.
"Ah!" So cool.
Okay. This is going to require something slightly different.
Oh god, he's gonna change the music on us, guys.
Yep.
Oh god, he's hitting us with it.
Yep. Here we go. Buckle up, Buttercup.
Yeah.
So
Where's that GIF of the butt clenching? Just...
somebody will
Get
find
ready
it.
to get
I'm
more
certain it's
versions of
abound. So yeah, so you're witnessing as this happens. You start to see this fine. Yeah.
The fact that you both did it.
and they're out of sync too, so it's just clench, 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 clench.
Whenever you start to see this, you find splits are starting to occur in and around the general area. There is a certain sense of familiarity with how this has happened before in the past. And again, that grin comes right on back, and there is a massive... Wow, that distracted me. There is a massive pulse that comes around, shaking all of the random debris in the nearby area. It is also causing this blur of distortion that waves out from his person once at first. There are... Let's see if I got this right. Yeah, 5. There are 5 crackling lights that are starting to emerge somewhere around his person. And as he does this, he puts it all together, more or less just screaming at the top of his lungs. And you guys can remember The last time he created anything like this as a full-blown summoning, but he was struggling with it the last time. Now he is not. And just as he is, like, doing this, you can see something happen on his person for those who are watching. It's going to be likely Ivar, Barrick, and X who will be able to see this. But you see something, like, burn out on his person as he's going through there. And he's just in the middle of, like, some kind of enraged kind of scream. And there's a crack, and then suddenly portals open up, 5 of them. When he is done with that, there is a massive onslaught of what look to be various demonic creatures similar to what you've already fought when you were on Phobos, but morbidly twisted into other things. And so a onrushing army just comes flying out of there. He doesn't really make any other attack. He just goes like, "Deal with this shit!" Like, that's...
As X goes, language.
Over comms,
So
you have got Dark Knight going, "That seems to be a lot of enemies down there. We're probably going to need to support you."
Ivar just kind of looks at this as his danger sense goes up and his occult goes, He's gotten better at summoning. Perhaps we can banish what he has sent. Can Ivar attempt a banishment on these portals?
Yes, it would be considered counterspelling.
What would the target be?
Target 10. And it's going to be a threshold 4.
Yes.
But you are going to need a total of 9 successes.
Oh God.
5 portals.
I know.
That's not gonna happen.
Don't forget, extended rules are a thing.
Very
Oh,
much
you
a thing.
Spend your
Ivar
body.
just gets up his first one and he pushes on it, and then you just see him reach up and he puts his other hand out there and he sets his feet and he parts the robes and he
Extends his roll.
Oh,
That was well done.
I don't know how to write extended rolls in the CRP.
you have to just put an algorithm in there. You know, X minus
No.
1.
Just like how to explain, like, sometimes.
Oh my god.
You'll. By the way, you should use some luck to get rid of some of those negative ones. That should help.
well, first of all, there's a 1 there that was off of a crit, so that doesn't count, I believe. Going back up here to the top.
Oh, you're right. So let's count them up. Let's tally. Tally ho!
1, 2,
3.
2, 3, 4. Ivar's at 4 right now, but
You
he
could get up to
could
7
make
if you
it.
use some luck to get rid of 2 of the ones. Do you have enough luck?
Ivar's only got 3 luck left.
So you can make one. So you can make. How many successes did he need?
I have 4 successes right now. He needed 9 to shut them all down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not
But
happening.
4 will shut one of the portals, correct?
4 will act as 1 success, and that means one of the portals will go down.
I mean, that's better than nothing.
That's all Ivar does. Like, he senses the danger and he kind of steps forward before anything happens, and I just see him like look around and go, and he's part, and Ivar's throwing everything he's got at this. How much I have 1, 2. Actually, let me go up to the very top and see how many here. 1, 2.
I'll allow it.
Ivar has 4 -1s, so with that that goes against
4
that
negative
goes
ones.
towards his exhaustion.
Yes, it does.
Good point. Good point.
And you just see Ivar sweating. He goes, "This is going to be a bit tricky. Let me think about this."
One of the portals collapses. You see Adrian look over his shoulders like, ugh, not again. And he just ends up focusing on Ivar with what little he can see of him and starts to unleash multiple lance attacks in that same direction. Because this was Ivar's defense against that, so... Oh, I gotta go back down here. Let's see. He's got...
Ivar just kind of looks at him and goes, "You really don't like Ivar. I just wanted to talk."
Concede.
The story I keep telling myself, Copperfield, is that you are scared of me. That somehow little old Ivar is threat to you versus being ally.
Okay. Okay, so this is basically what happens next. He starts to fire off that lance multiple times, finishing
How
out
many
the rest of
multiple?
his 4. So he holds it like so, just points it directly at everyone, and you can hear this like shoot, 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 like as it goes out. You know, everybody needs to start trying to take cover. Yep.
Dodge roll.
Yes, sir.
Dark Souls time.
Did you say everyone?
Yeah,
All of
because
us?
he's firing it across the wall. Very accurate, Drew. Well done. Oh my god.
That's my result.
At this point, Ivar knows danger's coming. He's like, "Oh shit, help!" Ivar spent himself on his move to defend the group, so Ivar's vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Question. Can
Yes.
I use my martial arts with my dodge?
You can use martial. You can use martial arts as your dodge because yours is gun kata and you're technically fending off
Because, like,
projectiles.
Mine is specifically about projectiles.
Yeah, it's basically by finding certain geometric stances that allow you to avoid common fire. That's the original principle.
Yep. All right. There you go.
I hate that you get such a high score. You have 24 in your dodge,
Well,
plus your gun kata. I get it.
it's just my martial arts. That's because I have maxed out my primary stat and my synergy bonus.
And synergy.
It's reflex and body, so yeah.
Of course, whenever Ivar, you're trying to move out of the way, Jekyll just comes rushing up behind you. He's like, "Look out!" like that, and he grabs a hold of you and just does this tuck and roll, keeping you in, like behind, or excuse me, holding him in front of himself, holding you in front of himself, and puts his back towards everything else.
And
Like, is he
Ivar's
holding
just like-
Ivar as a shield?
No, Ivar's
I
not the
feel
shield.
so sad.
Jekyll's the shield. He's holding in
That
front.
makes more sense, but when you first said it, I was like, is he holding Ivar as a shield?
Yeah, he's like, "Look out!"
He
Like,
seemed very much like Jekyll.
I feel like he's cuddling.
What about
protecting
Blue?
Ivar.
What's Blue doing in all this?
Yeah, Blue's getting ready for the Avatar sequel.
well, they're basically piling on top of Ivar, so it's Blue and
I know,
Jekyll.
that's what I mean. That's what I thought. It's like first Blue protected him, and now Jekyll's like, no!
Well,
Blue's
'cause-
gonna accidentally sting him.
well, Blue actually ends up taking the brunt of some of the explosion by accident. You can see debris, because these lances puncture right through this wall, blasting it apart, and you have debris just coming around everywhere. You've got that hot concrete smell, along with
Oh,
like
hot
smoldering metal. Like there's that's going on. So Ivar, in this case, you were actually protected, but you can feel multiple impacts on Jekyll and Blue as you're basically being covered up. And then Scott, you're the next closest thing, so you managed to very, very, very barely avoid getting blasted as this thing just punctures right through where your head used to be from behind the wall. X, same thing. You basically just go prone. As it goes flying over the top, you can hear it just whizzing over your head. Riv, where were you at? You were 24? All right. So you end up taking some side shrapnel. What's the armor total that you got right now?
In my body stuff, it's 59, and in my head, it's 44.
Okay, yeah, so it's just body and head both. Yeah, in this case, you're just going to be taking, like, 17 damage. Because it pushed over the top of that. And then, of course, Jekyll just gets hammered.
You guys want to see a kitten?
Yeah.
I was gonna bring a kitten in to hang out with me I'll be right back. Baby girl! Hey baby! This is Mama Kitty. Let's see. I'll pick up...
Kitten's trying to help us get those views.
So,
Kitten Camp.
yeah. Blue winds up taking the brunt of this assault. She ends up losing her right arm and gets flung off to the side. Jekyll has been hit so hard that he's no longer moving exactly. You can see his lights flickering. And he is non-functional at this point. Barrick, if you would even take one look at him with your own robotic cybernetics, you can assess exactly how much damage, but Jekyll just got pounded.
Somebody needs to turn him off and turn it back on again.
Yeah, no, not with the sundry holes and subsystems exposed.
You
And I
just
used-
see Ivar at this moment. He's got a tear there, and he's like, "Thank you for saving me."
Of course, there's a slightly fractured, sort of digitalized sound. And all it comes back and it's like, there's a specific phrase that he would use. I'm trying to think of it. It's like, oh, yeah, he's like, don't mention it.
Ken, that's a cute kitten.
Yep.
Yeah, this one already has a home. We're just waiting for her to get weaned.
Looking good over there. All right. So who is after our dear friend Adrian?
Oh, it was Riv.
Riv? Yeah.
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 Yeah. So you take a minor beating at this point.
Well, it's a good thing I already know what she's planning on doing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
So I already did the rolls last week. So first thing, after she hits the ground, as she's getting back up, you see her activate. Anyone who saw her or looking at her saw her activate 2 of her runes. Yeah, on my left gauntlet. And what she's going to do, I'll put you down here for a second. Think I can. What she's going to do uses 2 runes, activates.
I like to pretend that Riv makes the sounds.
Yeah. So she's activating Fireball
Ooh.
and Teleport.
All right. What's she gonna do with that?
Which is cool because those are both quantity spells,
Yeah.
which means her first aura of Psychokinesis is still active, and her Golem. So she currently has 4 powers activated.
Nothing personal, kid.
Yeah. The way that I envision what happens is that you see actually 3 fireballs kind of start swirling around her. That's how she fires them off.
Mm-hmm.
But her actual attack is going to be activates Fireball and Teleport. The actual attack is she's going to teleport from her position up into falling, like as far as she can go up into the sky.
I think it's 1,000
falling.
feet, right?
Yeah. So she's gonna be up in the sky, but she's also gonna teleport her golem straight up 1,000 feet above the front portal.
Okay.
Then she's gonna lay off all 3 of the fireballs into the group that's right in front of the coming at us, and then she's gonna teleport back to her position.
So basically, drop a golem, launch a fireball out.
Yeah, I mean pretty much just like teleport. She goes, fires all the fireballs, and then she's back before gravity starts to do anything.
Okay.
And I believe I just roll my melee for all of those, right? My will plus skill rank in melee. Melee.
Yep. Yes, you're Mayway.
Melee. Ooh, woo, what's this? Notices bulge
Ew.
of fire.
That goddamn thing.
Did I make you laugh last night, D, when I was a hair shorter if Senpai noticed me?
Yeah.
You actually killed us both.
Yeah.
It's like, "Babe, to me."
Yeah, I just read that out loud and I started chuckling. I couldn't help it. That's why I was just like, it's one step off from notice me, senpai. And Ken was like, oh. Like.
19. No. 9.
Yeah,
It's hard
maybe
to type when a
magic
kid's running
works.
around. Oh shoot! I gotta take into account my negative. I'm at -2. So
Right.
Not 17, 15.
Let's see what you
Do
got,
I do?
Ken.
Do I do one for each fireball, or do I?
If
can
you
I
just send them
fireball
all at
both?
once, it's just one roll.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So-
That's what I got.
Yep.
And I think
Okay.
before we said that I don't need to worry about the
Yeah.
actual teleports; those just happen.
Yeah, you just basically pinpoint where you're going and you go blip, blip, blip.
Yeah. I mean, as far as angle of attack, the enemies are definitely not going to know what's happening. No one expects the fireballs from above. Oh, don't step on my keyboard.
So the blasts are going to go faster because they're actually like force lobbed. So they just
Well,
go.
and also I'm using psychokinesis to shoot them off too.
Yeah.
I control fire.
Yep. So you're going boom, boom, boom like that. You just launch them off. They all strike, which is interesting because he happens to look up, catches the fireballs, but misses the golem in and of itself because he wasn't expecting that to be up there as well.
No one expects the golem either.
That's becoming a theme.
My
No
gosh.
one expects the golem.
Surprise
Yep.
golem. These are like t-shirt ideas. I need to be writing these down.
Well, so the golem like lands. He manages to sort of move out of the way, and the explosions come up. He just does that like cross thing as the blasts go off. You can see that the ground chips and everything else like that. He manages to take the brunt of the force of blast. When he kind of comes out, when he does this number, and he just does that like like that, and out of the smoke and debris comes Golem with fist out, and just goes and you just hear this ping like that, and he just goes flying. You see Adrian take a real hit. Because he managed to land right next to him amidst all of the other smoke and debris and just sneak attack.
you know, I've noticed that Riv tends to use physics to her. Like she has a lot of magic, but she uses physics. Like
Yep.
she made a kinetic missile out of the golem twice now.
Gotta use what works. God damn. Did we record what the damage was for his little fisticuffs? I don't know that we ever did. I think he's got like. If you don't have it, I have something in my head that would tell me.
I have his sheet, so let
Okay.
me grab it just a second. Gaming, Shadows, Riv, Iron Golem, and he's using the 1.0 sheet.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Melee is accuracy 16. Oh, it said placeholder for basic melee attacks. It didn't say how much. Its damages varies. That's what you typed in there.
Oh God.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a feeling I knew it was because I was going to be changing sheets and stuff. So I'll go with what I originally had planned. Yikes. Yeah, you just hear this pink, and he goes into the crowd of enemies that are swarming at this point, and Gollum goes to pursue. It kind of gets lost in translation now because of the flood of enemies headed your way. And they will be hitting at this point.
Oh,
So,
by the way, when she teleported back, she teleported far enough back that she's able to assess, not
Yes.
like right back where she was.
yeah, I gotcha.
That'd be silly.
Yeah, they're starting to
She's a
basically.
ranged fighter right now.
You guys are going to get slammed with an onslaught of these strange demonic creatures, whatever they are, very much twisted out of proportion from what they used to be. And that's saying something since they were already twisted and perverted to begin with. But you can hear the slathering, the hissing, the snarling, the growling. You hear the sudden heat of air being and acceleration of energy going way too fast, and in come the blazing balls of hellfire. So take cover.
Nice.
Each one of them kind of has that scrawny humanoid kind of sinuous look, where they don't really have any like hair or any other kind of definitive human parts. Sunken eyes, even just missing, no lips, just raw skeletal like mouth, and just coming at you. They all look like they've been cloned. It's kind of disturbing, but they all seem to have very relative abilities to each other from the looks of things. But yeah, they come swarming on in. Do 2 rolls here for thems, and you guys can
It's a
take.
group roll.
Can I
Yeah.
cast just a quick question?
Yes, you can cast a question.
Can I cast say bubble as a defensive action?
Can you do what now?
Cast bubble as a defensive action.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's already
Um,
primarily defensive in its origin.
Mm-hmm.
Can Ivar, in a sense, call up all the debris that's around them and just shoot it almost like a river of debris to almost these things have to go through it to get to us?
Yes, you can create a sort of barrier of moving rock, debris, and stone that would sort of prevent their onslaught. Yes, that's also possible.
You want me to roll as dodge for that?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Just to see if you can throw your shield up in time. As the hellfire balls come screaming in, you guys hear 2 more thundering cracks in the air as the knights go over top, laying down aerial fire on the masses that are coming through. The vibes-
32.
Would Ivar be rolling a dodge for this, or would he just be doing his regular will check of just? Well,
He's
that
gonna
goes Ivar's
he's got to try and
back.
prevent them from coming in, so you're more or less doing a melee parry. That's what you're doing.
Okay.
You're just using magic to parry other magic.
So how am I rolling this? Is it the D100 or the will check, or is it a melee and then the D's?
Well, you're going to be rolling your will to
D10
create
plus
the effect,
melee.
and then you're going to see
Okay.
exactly how fast you are responsive whenever you do the melee check post.
Ivar's
What's it-
imposing fist.
Right now, it's going to be
What's
7, because you've got plenty of debris. That's not really. This is child's play for you.
2 degrees of success?
Means that it works.
And here comes the melee. 21 on the melee.
Not fucking bad.
I would like to point out Ivar is doing this while he's still like pinned by Jekyll, like drinking a farewell salute, pouring one out.
Wow. All right. So as you guys are doing this, you've got Bubble from Agent X. A wall of moving stone and rock just kind of swirls around in front of everyone, giving some protection and disrupting these hellfire balls that are being lobbed in your general direction. And I just rolled to see exactly how well your cover works. Looks like everybody's ending up safe. There's not really a good standpoint for them to start striking at you. They just keep hitting that moving barrier or the main destroyed wall that was used for cover in the first place. But they're going to be physically upon you, and not to mention the fact that they are also being harassed by the 2 knights up above, and they are letting it down. Everything is shaking and thundering. You can feel explosive ordnance going off on the other side of the wall as you guys are more or less trying to reconnoiter and get your bearings. Okay.
Is that was so after Riv? It sounds like the demons had their turn.
Well,
And
they
then-
just kind of had an environmental effect since they're basically just rushing everyone with no
Now
care.
it's up to if that's the end of their stuff, it's Barrick's turn.
Yep. All right, Scott.
So did a finite group come out of the portals, or are they just kind of streaming in?
They're
and
kind of
getting-
pouring in at this point and
wiped?
being obstructed by the knights to harry them out. So you'll get groups of 2 or 3 within visible shot shooting range, basically. But the portals themselves have got to get closed if you're going to contain this at all. They're not flowing out like Niagara Falls, but they are definitely coming through in large numbers.
I wonder what would happen if we put a building on top of that, a portal.
Generally, if you take something physical and move it over something ephemeral, it's going to just jam it up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Just put
Yeah.
a big wall in front of them. They can't get out of that. Anyway, that was an idle thought.
Mm.
I think I'm gonna go with a tactics roll to just try, because Barrick's instinct is to try and free up other people to shine, like to
Yeah.
do their thing. He's kind of like support, but he was doing that with Colt, and it's like he's trying to shift his tactics around because Colt is not here to do the big DPS.
We all do big DPS in our own ways.
Well, right, but he definitely, the two of them worked really well together to I'll freeze him in place and then you slice him up or whatever. So I'm gonna do a tactics, because he's torn between, do I just go for Copperfield while all this is going on and try and hone in, since a shot went through, right? Since he did get hit, he can be hit. It's if it bleeds, we can kill it sort of situation.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm gonna tactics.
Get a tactics.
Oh wait, that's not a bad roll.
No. Actually, that's a great roll. So, you recall the old days when you were reading about your magic for dummies and trying to remember how it all works. There are a couple of things that can be done. If, for whatever reason, you might be able to disrupt his concentration, the portals might drop.
That's kind of what I was thinking of,
Because they have to be suspended. You're also watching the energy through all of the enemies, mind you, because you know
Right.
where he is. The aura sight is allowing you to literally just peer through the masses and see exactly where he's positioned, so you know that the energy's still flowing. There's a good chance that he's sustaining it through concentration. And if that is the case, if you can disrupt him, the portal's shut. And he would have to go back through the same exact business that he did last time, and it looks like that was taxing. So,
yeah. See, that's kind of what I was thinking. Of do I solve the symptom or go for the source, root cause?
And a reminder for our viewers, Barrick also gets to take advantage, or anybody in the bubble gets to take advantage of +5 damage to each attack that goes through the bubble.
God, I feel like that's just a public service announcement. Just a friendly reminder, buddy.
You can do
+5.
you can do extra damage in this round.
How
fun.
far away am I from Copperfield? I know I was kind of peeking, and then he's firing stuff.
you're just a little over 100 meters.
Okay. That might be a little rough with the handgun.
Ivar
So-
kind of,
And
as he's there, he sees Barrick kind of staring off. He's like, Barrick, what do you notice?
Well,
Since you have
I
aerial
figure
support.
He's gotta be maintaining those things, just like how you and Colt had to try and maintain your own portals.
You want to break his concentration?
One is stop him from doing what he's doing. So I figure
You throw a bunch of shit at him.
pump some magic into these rounds. Maybe I can make it through. Make a dent.
Do you want to delay and I can perhaps help you?
I think you'll be busy enough. He is going
Fair
to
enough.
plasma rifle, but in sniper configuration.
Yep.
4 shots. Aim shot.
Ankata.
It's the nano gun. He's gonna.
Well, you've got
That's exactly what I
sizable
was looking
holes that are at sort of chest level that you can peek through now because the lance had punctured right through it, so it gives you points that you can
Right.
operate with.
So I'm gonna do the aimed shot.
Yep.
Load it up a little bit. So my aimed shot, bullseye says I get a +1 aim bonus when making aimed shots
Yep.
with ranked weapon or with ranged weapons.
Oh, that's great, Ken. I love it.
So, oh my god! I'm sorry. I'm watching this thing unfold. Yes, I like it. Okay, so with my rifle and bullseye. And I'm going to arcane capacitor these as well. What does the +5 do? That's +5 to damage, right?
Yeah, +5 damage. Yep.
Okay, so plasma rifle aiming 4 shots. All right. So 34, 37, 39, 39.
Yep, that is a lot.
And this is a AP5 with a range of 600. So I figure that's well within my parameters. And they would be doing on a hit 65. Oh, I have to do my will. Sorry, I have to do my arcane capacitor stuff. Will check target 7. Each success is +10 damage for that bullet. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Put them in order.
Yeah.
All right. So I got 2 successes out of that between my Iron Will and the roll.
All right, so that adds that bonus twice over, so you get 2 stacks of extra damage on top of it.
Nice. That's what I like to hear.
And then the +5 from Bubbles of Light, or whatever it is.
The Ward of Dawn.
Weapons of Light.
Yeah. Let's see here.
But weapons of light.
So you go to take that aimed shot, and you realize that from the aura, as you're taking aim, he immediately recognizes a threat against himself, and you only know one other person who can do the same thing. But you go to take those shots, he comes whipping up like this, and then you see a miasma of different demonic forces trying to block your shots. However, out of the 4 that you go sending his way, 2 make contact, despite all those odds. So try to imagine him basically juking one, having 2 of the enemies just take the blasts entirely, two of them together take 1 blast. So they get completely nuked and out of the way. He goes to juke one then the other, but gets hit by both. So you manage to do at least that much. So what's the total of damage plus? It's 5 plus the 2 stacks.
So it would be 60 base +5 plus 10 plus 10. So 85
85. Okay.
per bullet.
Yeah. So he goes.
And it's AP5.
Yeah. Either way, he ends up taking a pretty large amount of damage from that, just from those shots alone. I don't have it. I'm not going to go get this thing. 7, 9, and 12. 12 more on top of that. Yee. All right. So he ends up taking the impact of that, and he drops to the ground. You can tell that you've done some significant amount of damage to him. I have to now make a rather potent roll here. He's only got wow.
When he sees that through his, scope and all that, he's gonna say, "We got him on the ropes. Ivar, this is your time."
Yeah, he tries to maintain those portals, by the way, and he can't. It's very clear that the shots disrupted him, and sure enough, the theory proves true. The portals go like that. One of the actual demonic entities still coming forward gets snipped in half as it collapses.
I'm gonna do a charismatic leader roll to try.
Keep trying to use that.
Hell yes,
For
I do.
all of our campaign.
It exists. I'm gonna roll it.
Go for it.
It's
It
gonna
exists.
try and buoy Ivar into action. In the correct chat, not an oath. Boom. 10 with charismatic leader. Like, Ivar, strike now while the iron is hot.
Wait, how did you get? Oh, okay. 5 plus 5. I was like, wait. What?
So, it's Ivar's turn now, correct?
Yes, it is.
It's Ivar's
That's
turn?
why he's bolstering you. He's trying to use that to encourage you to get going.
Bardic inspiration. Bardic inspiration.
Barrack inspiration.
You got it, kid.
What is Ivar noticing as he's looking at Copperfield with Ivar's abilities?
Well, you
and
can
drunken
sense where
eyes.
he is, and he's knocked on the ground, and he's not doing terribly great. He took some serious hits.
Ivar would like to do a
That was great.
Ivar's doing a tactics roll to kind of generally give him a good course of action right now. If it would be better to kind of sort of ready what he's thinking, or to go the other and to kind of describe what he's doing. Ivar was thinking of readying his mirror of reflection, where if anything were to come at us, he would send it back, but he was going to put a little twist on it and speed up the return journey. The other option Ivar has is he has these rock wall of just spinning that thing out and launching it directly at Copperfield, which would get rid of our defensive barrier, but would attack him. So he's kind of playing out which would be the better move with a 13 tactics roll.
Either one has its merits, hard to say. Your choice, sir.
He looks at Barrack, who's giving him the leadership role, and Ivar just starts spinning those rocks. And he's going to try and amplify their speed. But as he amplifies their speed, Ivar wants to, at the same time, send him through his bubble of reality distortion.
Okay.
What's his target?
Well, in this case, it's going to be a 9 because you're kind of pairing some abilities up. Holy
We'll
God!
take 8 degrees of success.
Lord!
What?
Fuck!
Oh my
God!
Even
I don't.
The GM's like, ugh.
My balls hurt. I'm trying to make this last a little bit.
Well, here's the thing with Copperfield. We basically, the first time we fit Copperfield, like, oh, that's a trap. We're just going to bypass it.
Ivar's speeding those rocks up.
Yeah, he is.
And he, right before he launches them, he puts his bubble of reality distortion in front of it. And just simply goes, I just wanted to talk.
Lights out. He's gonna kill all of those baddies, apparently.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, this is the big fight. Gotta have your gift game good.
Yeah, you do. All right, so are you meleeing them all towards Adrian at this point, or just trying to slaughter the oncoming demonics?
Ivar was just spinning whatever debris wall, trying to get it going as fast as he could get it.
Successful.
And then launching it through his bubble of distortion directly towards Copperfield and anything that is in the way.
So distortion does does what for him?
The bubble of reality distortion makes items grow, or shrink in this case. He's increasing the speed,
Yeah,
the
he's adding.
velocity, and the size.
what you normally do
Your
to
spell
my
power
bullets.
your spell power should be, because you're rank what?
7.
For rank on what, his reality shift?
Yeah, 6, right?
He's maxed out on reality shift.
Right. He's rank 6, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then he's got a will of 10.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, incorrect. His power is at 5. He's at rank 5 for reality shift.
Okay. Yeah, just don't get hit. That's the plan. All right. Well, this is what everybody else gets to take a look at as Ivar starts to go on the offensive. Yeah, as he starts to go on the offensive, these crumbling pieces of concrete, rebar, and all manner of objects that have just surrounded here as part of the area, even including some of the corpses, start to swirl around and become massively over-throttled in velocity. It's enough to actually cause, like, from the corpses in particular, basically they become sort of popped and their viscera just goes flying everywhere. But the stones and everything else become enormous, magnifying in size as they become distorted, and then they become these hurtling projectiles lobbed directly at Adrian. And you just need to make a melee.
$18.
All right. And they go together in a spiral and then go and launch straight up like this kind of strange wave. The bottom parts of it just kind of rolling along the ground, crushing anything in their way, the rest of it lobbing upward in this big, long, streaming wave of debris. If you've ever slapped your arm against a pool and you see how it's wide at the base and narrow at the top, it kind of does that, but they're all spiraling out of control. And so he's turned himself into the 100 Trebuchet Man as he's lobbing these enormous stones directly into the fray. You actually hear Michael go like, "Ah, shit!" like that. He goes moving up out of the way as he goes to avoid some of the debris, because you can hear him rebooster going some other way as he was making a pass right when that happened.
Nothing like making someone from the angelic choir swear.
Yeah.
Lateral damage.
We should probably
I just
call
see-
Satan, though, right?
Get him up on the ringer.
Just to, like,
I-
extract Copperfield's soul or something at some point.
I feel like Ivar at this point is just standing there with his robe fluttering in the whatever breeze has been created.
Oh God.
But it's fluttering from the waist down, and he's just standing there in this sort of pose of like, I just want to talk.
Oh, jeez.
He's
Why'd you do that?
Oh.
now it's in Latin with the choir of children.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doomed.
Is this where Ivar uses his last of his luck to boost down?
The health bar changes to blue.
Okay. You can't be quite sure exactly. You know your targeting is pretty good. Because you can see where the shots have been fired by Barrack. He kind of pointed it out to you. You lob everything you've got. The stones go crashing into it. You don't feel the same resistance on this attack that you did before. Like when you were trying to do reality shift when he was at his best, this doesn't seem to have been interrupted. But you can't exactly tell what has happened to him underneath. However, from the fact that you actually have that sense of objects within your space, you know that he is still alive. And it looks like he's not necessarily worse for wear. Maybe the stones missed, but the sheer collateral damage that went around managed to take care of a fair number of the assaulting enemy forces pretty easily. And you can see the mop-up crew thing happening as the knights do these crisscross and zigzagging patterns over a top, laying down yet more ordnance. Of course, by now, they're kind of working inside of these massively huge stones that didn't exist before, so it's more like they're doing subtle tactical trench work as they're kind of trying to find guidelines to hammer down any opponents that are in that way, which, secondary to that, visibility is to shit. With all of that going on, you've got dust, smoke, debris, everything. Yeah, it's just everywhere. It's a haze of all kinds of stuff in the air, and it's kind of quiet, but you're still kind of sitting there waiting for something to change.
Ivar just shouts out as he's, kind of doing this, and he's throwing it all out there to the whole group. He's not done yet. Keep attacking.
Right, so as it points out in that direction, we have X, who is up next technically, as Jekyll is still down and out.
Okay, so he is going to... So, since he was touched when he used his melee attack and got corrupted by the last outsider, he's changed. So, his melee is affecting his next power, so you just see he's got the shield up here. I mean, is the blaster, no longer the hand, and the bubble. And then you just see his claws extend, and he just points them in the direction of Jekyll and Blue.
Okay.
And uses 2 melee actions to use Grace of the Machine.
Ah.
And you just see this cloud just come from the long extended talons, and it parses out into this spiraling, and you see this little bit of red that's flickering like lightning in this cloud that just envelops or ties itself to both Blue and to Jekyll. So they let's see how many rounds. So we're gonna do, because we're doing this twice, I'm gonna have to roll this twice. That's 1d4 plus 7. Oops, one second. Okay, so Jekyll for 10 rounds is going to get 9 hit points per round back for 10 rounds. And then Blue is going to get the same for 9 rounds.
Okay.
And then he's going to do
But that's for 9 rounds.
Yeah.
10 rounds and 9 rounds, 9 health levels each round. Then he's going to maintain the bubble and then hold his next attack actions based off tactics roll. And he's using the
Heal up his
tactics
buddies and go.
and then basically tactically go, okay, combat assessment, when should I strike? And then that's when he's going to strike. So he's going to hold his next attack. So 17 for when he should attack next.
Okay, sounds good. I am taking care of something real quick.
On a quick side note, I do have to point out, Bill, that was an excellent use of tactics right there to set up the next move. The almost, I don't know when to attack, but I'm going to roll to determine when is a good time to attack. You can do that in Shadows here, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and germs.
Ladies and germs.
Make DM do the work for you.
Okay.
I hear if you buy the DM pizza that your tactics rolls increase.
Ivar, your danger sense goes fucking haywire.
Like it's pointing in different directions, or it's
No,
like
just
it just went through
it's
the roof?
the get the fuck out of here right now is the feeling you get.
Time to go. Is Ivar able to, at this point, just summon out of nowhere a portal and try to portal us all out?
You might be able to, but the problem is that nobody else is going to be getting that feeling. So this is what happens next. There is just one tiny, very, very subtle ripple in the ground. There is a communication from Dark Knight going like something like that. You just get that as all the comlinks go down. That sound goes completely deaf to the sudden explosive tsunami of earth, concrete, and everything else exploding out from where Adrian was, goes up outward like this, sending all of that same enormous debris back towards everyone else. There is no hole, no gap, no nothing. He's going to try and crush everybody underneath that. Yes, Phil.
So, with my tactics roll, would this be a good time for him to throw a barricade too?
Maybe?
He'll throw a barricade.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a total of 600 damage absorption.
That will be necessary.
Let me go into my gear.
Yeah, Barrick, you
Where
have
the-
never in your whole life ever seen anything like that. Ever. You're standing at ground zero of what looks to be a mushroom cloud of raw destruction headed your way.
So I have my shield as well.
Yep.
That, if possible, I would like to throw up.
Go for
Brace
it.
myself.
This is what should Ivar
It's
do?
much less significant.
Oh, you know what?
Shield wall!
I think Ivar has the ability to make himself incorporeal.
That's useful.
Yes. Yes, he does.
It's Casper Ivar.
Okay, I block 30 damage with my little mini shield.
D, am
It's
I
more
able to
on
use,
X-Face.
can I use my runes in response to this?
Yes, they can be used
You still
defensively.
have a teleport, don't you?
No, I used it to get back further back, but I mean a wall of.
I thought you had.
Did-
Don't you have 3 of them?
I used 3. I used one to teleport. One to teleport my golem way up into the sky to do a kinetic explosion, and then one to go back because obviously I can't fly, so like, I have to go back.
Here's a rapid teleport.
Casper Ivar just got up, rolled a 5.
So you're gonna give up on the
Yes.
teleportation of your crew?
You guys
I don't think I.
so quickly.
Well, no,
Well,
it would
I don't
actually be
know.
fitting if he went incorporeal because it would be his right within his combat paralysis. Like shit, like just.
Yep.
I'm just asking what he's up to.
I like that. So
I think
go
Ivar
ahead.
was like trying to contemplate a portal, but very much in his moment of panic was like, he's a ghost.
Yeah.
And whatever 5 degrees of ghostliness, if I don't know if he can spread that ghostliness to others, or if it's just an Ivar only power. He's never tried it, but
Again, this is when Ivar rolls and the party wonders, is this the time that Ivar kills everybody? Find out next week.
Ivar says,
Jesus.
is there going to be quick tactic roll D? Is there going to be much of a difference between 5 successes and 1 success, and 6 successes? Ivar is stubborn here. He wanted to save his friends.
Okay.
Thought they were great. He's a ghost.
So you're gonna use teleport then?
Sure. Will that 5 rolls get my friends out of danger?
Well, you won't know until you try. But I mean, like, I want to know which way you're going, because.
Gonna throw us through the
which
portal.
way am I going? That's a good question.
He's gonna throw us out through the portal into each Phobos world.
No, I think in fairness, the original action was the dude. We're just gonna roll to find out what Ivar is doing.
So,
Odds, he goes corporal.
Flip a
Evens,
coin.
he goes.
Even
goes,
teleport, odd, and corporeal.
Yep, there you go.
Ivar's gonna coin flip us.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Ivar Casper, it is.
oh,
All
there
right.
you go. How many runes can I activate before this wall gets to me?
Probably 2.
Excellent. Excellent.
Because
So-
this is a snap reaction. You've got half a second. It's not even that long. You like
Yeah.
the slow motion that's happening right now. This is all
just
happening at so
thinking.
slow a speed. It's not even
Cinema.
funny.
So, one of the 2 things are going to happen in Riv in time.
Yeah.
No, well, so the golem can't come back fast enough.
No,
part
the
I
golem
know.
got caught in the blast. It was
Yeah,
right
exactly.
The
So
golem
2
is
things-
part of the debris.
there.
Yeah, it's another rock. No, so she activates 2 of the runes immediately.
hmm
But the first, so if you scroll up, you can see I rolled before you start talking about this. So I'm playing this totally straight here. The first ability I activate is Celestial Wings.
hmm
And so she's going to try getting the fuck out of dodge that way, backwards.
Okay.
Because she can, yeah, basically she deactivates
Yeah.
her psychokinesis, and the wings come out immediately, whoosh, just push back as fast as possible. Because the wings let her go 50 miles an hour, which
Yeah.
is pretty fast,
Yikes.
and up. So it's a diagonal
Yep.
shot. The other thing is that she is calling back her golem.
Yep.
Uh,
So
if it
pulling it back out of the debris at the same time, trying to get it to you. Yep.
Now, once it hits her, that's when the second power will activate, because she needs to deactivate the other power before she can activate the first one.
hmm
And I'll tell you guys what that is once the golem gets back to her. But
Okay.
for now, that's how she's
All right,
trying to get out of dodge.
Yeah. Basically, you're just gonna have to roll dodge, parry, defensive actions to get out of here. Barrack, are you staying inside of the bubble shield that X is creating?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my instinct is hunker down, throw up my little mini shield that'll block 30, and the bubble shield that's there. Yeah,
Can't say that enough.
especially because I was like in sniper position.
Yes. hmm Yep. You guys were right next to each other, so
Yeah.
I was further back because
Yeah.
I teleported
Ash.
way further back.
yes, which is
And
why you
that's
have a
so
chance
was
to like.
Ivar.
Eh! Yeah.
Ash Bros.
Ivar was back with blue.
And-
Was back.
Yeah. Either way, thankfully the healing will take part, but yeah, the bone-shattering impact that hits you all. The bubble doesn't stop the fact that everything kind of comes in and around. Hits in a single wave, and then it hits again, and then it hits again. Okay, third time, that bubble snaps apart. The fucking energy is just completely collapsing. But it's going foom, 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 like it's going like that. So, you know, everybody's hitting up like this. X did we have a cooldown for that particular bubble?
Cooldown is 3 rounds.
Yep. Okay. So it won't come back up. I had to check this real fast to make sure my math is right because owie.
Yeah, so
Good run,
hopefully,
everybody.
because he had bubble and the barricade, so 600 damage.
Right. He ate through that.
Wonderful. Glad I threw both of them up to watch us still die.
Yeah, he ate through the bubble. What's the barricade?
So bubble is 400, barricade is 200.
And I got an extra 30 for me.
God damn. Yeah. He just got extra fracking vicious. You said what the barricade was what again, Bill? I'm sorry.
So it's 400 and 200.
200. Okay. Yeah, so bubble snaps, you get hit with the fourth wave, your barricade takes it for just a minute, Barrick is standing right beside you, everything goes like that, and then you just go like, Barrick, it's all black for a minute. You only feel the rush of air, and the rest of it, that is one of your lives gone.
I was gonna say, do I get the like ting?
Yeah,
Next,
that is one of your lives absolutely gone.
right?
Your armor X.
18 resilience, 85
Just what's
integrity.
the armor protection?
Oh, 35.
35, okay. Right, so yeah, you get slammed.
Bill's next character.
Well, luckily the last wave already had 50 taken away from it, so you get battered around on the inside of all this debris, pushed around, same thing, all black for just a minute. I have to roll a percentage here to see exactly who winds up where. Although Barrick I know where, so I gotta figure out for X. X, you're kind of underneath a whole bunch of this. Whenever your systems finally reset, you get static on your main monitors, and all visual input is just dark. But you can see patches and things, and you start beginning a sense of where you are. You're not completely underneath small debris. You're underneath some pretty heavy stuff, but you're still in one piece. You've taken light damage all in and around because of the bubble, the barrier, and your armor. You've actually managed to come through it.
Hey!
Yeah, you're just a little sluggish. Barrick, your eyes snap open, and you're detecting massive damage here on the left side, on your arm, the rest of it. And it's definitely, like, crushed you. As a matter of fact, you're sitting there going, like, I should be dead. Because you felt the full force of that impact, and even though you have the dampers in your ears are ringing because of how much that is. And you're still hearing the waves going crash out in the distance. And you can hear another building or two out that same way starting to crumble as its foundations are utterly rocked.
Yeah, because we're in reality, so it's not like this is some little pocket dimension. This is like downtown.
Yeah.
Getting wrecked. Or at least it's out by the stadium or whatever, right? Out by the conference center.
Yep.
It's like near downtown. It's like where the airport is. It's like
Yeah.
not really in the city.
Jekyll and Blue are nowhere to be seen at the moment. Not sure exactly where they wound up. Ivar, you've been slowly dropping down as the earth and the rest of it was been torn away. When you come free, it's actually somewhat clear because the raw force of the magical attack blasted everything aside, and you start looking around. Your original cover absolutely decimated. You're just standing in an even wider crater than what you were before, with these undulating circles from where each one of the strips came up and they started attacking outward. You've avoided all of that, but you have no sight of where your compatriots are. You don't know what's happened to them. You just watch the wave after wave after wave after wave go through.
What a
and
sight.
yeah, and you know, you can vaguely detect.
All right.
Yeah. You can vaguely
Well, that's
detect
where
where Barrick is. Riv, you watched that explosion from the air. What was your dodge initially anyway with the wings?
I rolled it all. Like it's all. Look at the Night City chat. I typed it all out for you.
Yeah, hold on. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, you managed to get out. You were actually ahead of the game. You just went phew like that. You were gone, and you just watched the boom, 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 boom like that. That's how it looks. as it goes upward. As 4 explosions in sequence, just pushing everything outward, causing a mushroom cloud of force and concussion to come up. Whenever that happens, you of course get hit with the wave, but it doesn't do anything lethal. You're just far enough away for that not to do any real impact. But because of where you're sighted, you can actually see Adrian pop up out of where he was. He emerges from the earth. It looks like he cocooned himself during Ivar's initial attack, and he had just come back up, and he is just livid. He's like leaning on his staff like this and breathing heavily. The 2 knights had to take a distant flight from getting away from that.
Ivar just applauds him in his incorporeal form and goes, "Can we talk now?" You just seem very angry. I just had a question for you.
Hold on. I'm curious.
Would you like to look at my shoebox?
No, Ivar has actually had a question from the first time we met Copperfield. He's been trying to ask him every time we meet the guy.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yes.
You wrote it down?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's just standing there holding onto his staff. He's like looking and he just goes, "Ah! What?" Like that just
How are you doing?
No. Ivar looks at him with all seriousness and goes, "How'd you do it? How did you beat the devil? I mean, I must applaud you. It was genius. How did you do it?"
he's just sitting there like breathing heavily, and he just does this eye scrunching thing. He's just like, "Are you serious?"
We go to Ivar's skills here real fast. And Ivar is gonna go with his etiquette
God damn it, Bill. Well played.
roll. Ivar's going with plain old etiquette right now. With a 26, he's trying to, as politely and kindly, talk to this crazy guy and let him know, like, he really is, like, super curious. Like, he wants to flatter him and generally, like, go, "Oh my god, like, I am so impressed by what you, like, I'm trying to do what you did to the devil to God. How'd you do it?"
It's an innocent question, purely innocent.
Yeah, it's a purely, like, innocent, like, "You did to the devil what I'm trying to do to God. How did you do it?"
He just like sits there and he kind of does that slump number because clearly the last barrage took a shitload out of him. But he's like, "I can't believe that I'm having this conversation."
Everyone in the group goes, "We can."
Everyone's like, "Do you like vodka? I have some vodka. We can have a drink right now. There's no reason to destroy the city."
Oh, Dee, did you see what I sent you? Because it's Riv's turn now, so this little conversation she's gonna cut short.
It's not just you.
Yeah, everyone's hitting you up on the side. Gone are the days where you have to pull the GM aside
Yeah.
yourself. Everyone just hits them on the side. You think that that's something that I could do?
Yeah. What's the follow up to it? Because I got the first part.
Well, so as long as that's something that sounds like a cool idea, Riv's gonna tell everyone on comms, take advantage of this. Like that's all she's saying, and what you see, what everyone else sees, is she is up in the sky if anyone can see her, and she takes a nosedive like a peregrine falcon, like no holds barred, and she's doing like the Superman kind of like thing straight at Copperfield, and that's what it looks like she's doing.
Okay, it's
And
going to
she's
take you a
doing this
moment
at
to
the
do that.
exact same time.
That
Is this
Ivar's having a
happening at the exact same
discussion.
time
Yeah,
that
like you
Ivar's,
started talking to
trying-
him. Yeah, you started talking to him, and it's like, because she doesn't care what Ivar's doing here. He's gonna do what Ivar does, and she's like, target acquired, because based on the powers that she received, she's going to do that.
Nice.
All right.
So
so-
everyone
Do
heard
a
that.
Falcon dive.
Yeah, you're
It's
going
a
straight
Peregrine
in.
Falcon. Yeah.
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 Well, he's just sitting there like this, and you do this dive, and he's just sort of like, and he looks up. What's funny is he doesn't seem to be phased. Is the weird part. It's the unfortunate element there.
I saw through it. Damn.
Well, yeah, he's got a couple added things going on that helps him do that shit. Um,
Oh, I've got an idea, but okay. Let's see what happens.
So you're-
Let's see what he does when I.
I feel like
so
Ivar should try and stop Riv right now. Just like, no, stop! I really want the answer to question.
God. All right, Riv, you're doing your deep dive. I don't think you're gonna have enough moment. You're gonna have too much momentum to sit there and stop on a dime to try and do. So follow through. What's the feint gonna accomplish? What are you trying to?
So, just so everyone else out of the metagame goes, she got intangible, so she's just gonna fly right through him. Her goal was to try and distract him. Like, he's gonna focus on defending himself, and then you guys can try taking advantage of that. I mean,
Do you think you can grab the staff?
Not intangible.
Not why it's intangible. No, she'd just go right
I mean,
through it.
the fact that I have the wings means that I basically just turned on no clip.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, I'm gonna fly through him and then kind of
Activate
I'll-
within him and possess him.
I'll fly through him, and then as long as nothing untoward happens, I'll stop in underground, and then I'm gonna come back up and kind of peek and see what happened. Like, that's
Well, he's
she's-
focused on you, but you're like like that. He just goes like, yuck, like that. Just kind of like.
really eyebrows.
Well, you go passing right through and come bobbing right back up. He just eyeballs you from his shoulder line, just kind of watching at this point, and he's like, "You want to know? Fine." He ends up reaching around to like the back side of what would normally have been a good portion of his like upper jacket, coat, whatever, and he pulls out some kind of like leather-bound book, and he's like, "You'll have to take it." Like that, just drops it, and you see the book go like that into some other portal, and it's like, "But in the meanwhile, I just want you to die." And
So, it's since it's Riv's still turned, she was just watching him do that. She's gonna come at him again like this,
Mhm.
and she's gonna use 2 runes. Let's see, what am I at now? I have 3 runes left. Alright, let's see what I get. So, in this case, what will happen is, as she's flying at him, her wings that you can still see become radiant, and she basically just stands right in front of him, just blinding the hell out of him. Like, she flies through him and it's like sees the wings and it's like, oh, okay.
Very look at me, look at me.
Yeah. And then she's gonna be quipping and it's like, man, you are uglier than I remember. She's just standing out. I was like, yeah, like touching his face and like, but it's the right now the radiant wings is mystically bright and dazes and disorients enemies. So like,
Yeah.
it should affect him in some way. At the very least, you guys should be able to take advantage of that in the next few turns.
yeah, well, they have to get themselves crawled out from underneath debris and the rest of that.
Yeah.
Right. So at this point, Riv is pushing her thing through. Ivar, more or less, it looks like Riv is trying to distract him, which is only making him more infuriated as he's scrunching his face and pulling away.
Ivar just kind of looks at him at that moment. He goes, "Oh, that's how you did it. You're very clever, Copperfield." Is Ivar able to take an occult tactics roll at the moment?
Yeah, well, you can take both. You can do occult and
What-
tactics.
Is that on his turn or on
It's
in general?
it's his turn right now, more or
It's
less.
Eric's turn next.
Hmm.
Unless-
Barrick
No,
is
it's-
buried.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's what you meant by saying
Ivar-
they have to get out. I got it.
What
How buried is
Ivar-
Barrett?
Well, I mean, you're going to be getting up here. You're about 50 meters away from where you were standing, up on a slope from all the debris and the rest of it as it's starting to settle out, and you've got some stuff on top of you. But you're, like I said, you're going to be shifting that off, and you're going to be trying to get yourself up.
Takes a round to do that. That makes sense.
All right, I'm just saying like bod 23.
Yeah, no, you're moving it,
No.
like you're getting out.
Athletic 5.
Yeah, it's going to be pushing it
So-
aside, but it's just a matter of getting back into combat. That's the problem.
So I can't like
Here's what-
sneakily rise up and attack him.
Well, you probably could, but you'd have to take a long flank going around somewhere where he's not paying attention. Well, she is blinding him, so, I mean, you can kind of see the luminous light there in the center now of the wide bowl-shaped crater that's been blasted out.
I'm just hoping he thinks I'm like off the table.
Well, I'm certain he's not paying much attention to you whatsoever, since
Yeah.
the I'm not touching you tactic is starting to get pushed through.
I'm playing the sister,
Oh.
like annoying sister role.
I swear
Why
the shit
he's
that
doing
works with
that-
us.
Ivar's still trying to get this conversation going on, but what Ivar would like to do, an occult roll and a tactics roll, to see if Ivar is clever enough. I don't even know if he should also do an awareness check with this as well.
Hmm.
If he's able to figure out the passcode, as it were, to get into that portal that Copperfield just made drop that book into, and just reach in and pull it out himself.
Yeah, what you'd be doing is a form of astrogation of a sort, but doing it in a fourth and fifth dimensional type way.
Jesus, that sounds easy.
So I take it he has to do an occult roll first to see if he can even do it.
Yes. Well, so he's trying to finagle. We've got I'm not touching you. Agent X is starting to push his way back through from the debris, having taken some small amount of the damage. And everything is starting to come back through it. You're feeling the capacitors inside of you, Agent X. They're starting to come back on. I also have to roll for something else here to see how bad it is for the other two.
Yeah. Hey, at least they're healing. Like it was a good idea on X to start giving them the life boon.
X, you actually hear in the distance to the right, there's
muted.
something that's...
Scott, you muted just now. Whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
mid sentence.
Yeah, that was
Sorry.
weird.
Go ahead, D.
But you actually pick up a signal, and you can hear rustling around. It would appear that Jekyll is actually starting to move. Wonder what happened with Barrick's comm
Here.
system there.
Wonder if his wireless
I'm
headphones.
back.
Oh.
Yep.
My headphones just turned off.
Are
Every
they low
15
battery?
minutes. They've been plugged in, but
Huh. Weird. Either
Yeah,
way,
they're just
Jekyll is... Yeah, Jekyll's trying to make his movement out, so it looks like he might need some debris to be removed. Alright.
oh yeah. So I rolled a 29 on my strength feat to try and
Yeah.
shift without like causing a rock slide to draw attention to myself.
Okay, and then just make me a stealth as well, because you're able to control it. Let's just see if you can do it quietly.
All right. Nope.
The answer is
I
no.
will spend some luck to just turn that to not be a 1.
Okay. Right.
All right. So I'll explode that. So it's a 20 for my stealth check.
All right. Need Ivar back because he's going to be basically Lone Rangering it. We're kind of on the apex point here.
Yeah, right before the to be continued.
Right. Well, the thing
Yeah,
is,
my goal is to just get out from under the rubble without it, like, making it very obvious between dancing hologram woman and Ivar's chit-chatting to, like, don't notice me getting out from here, and maybe I can take another 4 sniper shots while you're distracted or something.
Ivar's still trying to be like, I can help you. And he's trying to be polite, but at the same time trying to figure out how to open that damn portal.
Right.
Surprised Ivar's not like, join me and together we can rule.
I think sadistic Ivar would have done that.
Like, I'll take above, you take below. We'll be the new hotness.
Universe has to balance.
Drew, you gotta watch Preacher if you get a chance.
Just ran out of shows.
So you're doing the, not touching you business there, Riv. Whenever he's just kind of like that, and you just see him go wink like that, he winks out of existence and goes somewhere else. So he's no longer in front of you. He just seems to get fed up. He happens to be a lot closer to Ivar at this point, standing approximately just about 20 meters from where he was closer to about 100 before. But he's just up close and personal at this point. I can feel you trying to dig around.
Do you blame me?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm not surprised. But I think we need to end this conversation before. And when he goes to say that, there is something where he just kind of looks up into the sky for a moment as if something is distracting him. Let's see if he actually manages to pull it off.
He's not within Ivar's true faith zone, is he?
Oh, no. Yeah, no, he happens to look up. Something catches his attention. The 2 knights come crashing down near where he's supposed to be, and trying to take him out rapidly. Oh, yes, I want to be rolling this guy. Woo. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. God damn.
You could have had it all, Copperfield.
So they come crashing on down, and you see him look up like this. He just goes like that, and there's this like that as a bubble appears around where he's standing. The silence of the area and the rest of it, and Riv, you're probably going back to go harass him some more. Whenever
miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, these guys are flying at close to Mach 2, so they've got you beat.
Damn.
But they go flying in. There are several explosions that are highly directed, and they go clattering off. You can see this like red field just emerge, and the rest of it from wherever he's standing, and you can see Copperfield just standing there, and that staff is just glowing, and he's like concentrating just enough, and you can see it just kind of rippling through at this point. The distortions and the rest of it finally get to a point where they stop. The bubble dissipates, and again, there is this kind of sense like he understands that something might be going on.
And Ivar's just the whole time looking at him and just shaking his head. He goes, "You never did understand, Copperfield. You're upsetting the balance."
He's like, "Oh, shut up!" like that, and this bullet goes ripping right through his chest, upper arm area, and it just goes pow straight through, and then buries into the dirt. You don't see from where the shot came from. He was in mid-turn whenever he realized it was going to start to happen.
Wow.
You don't see where it came from or why, but it's there and it happens. Yeah, I gotta see here.
My gun kata is probably not very effective this far away to like try and trace its origin.
1824.
Does Ivar sense danger from this gunshot?
No. Nope, you didn't peek whatsoever. So yeah, he goes like this. He crumples down onto his knees at this point. He's just looking at the gore, kind of looking up at the rest of it. He's in a bad position, that is for sure.
Get out the shoebox.
Ivar?
Ivar just looks at him with pity right now, and says,
Don't heal him. Don't heal him.
Ivar just looks down. Let us help you. Give us the contract, Adrian.
All right. So, X and Barrick, you see what's going on here with everything else that's going on. You see him take the shot and the rest of it. You guys have an opportunity at range to do other things. It looks like he's just been injured by something else. Don't know what, but Barrick, to your eyes with your telescopics, it looks like he was hit with a high caliber sniper round.
Well,
Well, he
maybe
knows a
he
thing or
would
two
like
about those.
4 more of those.
Okay.
No hesitation. Doom, 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 doom.
If I can, from a prone position while I'm pulling myself out of the rubble.
Okay. Yes, you can. You'll have moved yourself at least a little bit closer.
We're number 1 now.
Alright. I've got no arcane capacitor. This is just straight me.
Jesus.
Wait, why am I I'm rolling too high. What's going on here? I'm rolling 40.
Okay.
I'm rolling plus 40. So just take
Okay.
10 off of all of those.
You rolled a 1, though. You might want to use some luck on that one. And you exploded on another.
Ivar, I need you to make one last defensive roll because he's going to be firing over from where you're at.
Alright.
But you suddenly feel a spike in your danger sense as he, just gives you a glare. You see the staff flares up. He doesn't use it specifically, but you can see the magic goes into it, and all he's doing is sending some
Ivar.
kind of magical destruction your direction.
Ivar is still incorporeal.
Yeah,
So what
but
he
the
does
problem is
is
that your
he
danger
throws
sense
up-
went up. So
Ivar is gonna he's gonna throw up his, just sort of ready the action to send up his mirror reflection to take anything corporal, magical, anything, to take it and send it right back to its source and amplify.
Doing the mirror
it.
force again.
Yeah.
the
and
irony
try
of
to
this
amplify it.
particular situation, the irony is that you and him right now, because of his penalties, are exactly on par. If you make your dodge, you will get this up. If you don't, yikes.
Let's see here. His mirror reflection is a 7.
Okay, so I blew I spent the rest of my luck to
Yep.
bump that to a 35, 37, 37, 44.
All right, you're popping shots. Ivar, what you got, man?
He's got.
Okay, so there's
2
that, but you need
degrees.
to make the actual melee defense, which is the...
Correct.
Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
gonna
you'll be
be a
successful at
melee.
least that far.
Here we go. Last roll of the night, I think. Oh!
Do you have any idea how lucky you are? God,
Holy sh...
this is one of the few rare times where I was expecting a heroic death and it didn't hit. God damn it.
Damn, dude. Ivar.
I-
So
are
you're
still-
like that. He goes, ah, like that. There's this huge thrust of fire. He gets pelted with 4, which happens to, when he's doing this, you just see it in slow motion. He goes out like this. There's that scream. The 4 shots hit him. The magic releases. They go through. His arm comes loose. All of this disintegrates and slags, right? He's going backwards, but the spell that he executed bounces off your reflective barrier and blasts him to atoms.
Oh my god.
And it just leaves a streak that's dark, and right there in the midst of that crater just creates this massive V, and it's so incredibly potent that it vitrifies all of the concrete into glass.
Oh, God.
You glassed him.
He glassed them.
And then 4 bullets go...
Well, the 4 bullets hit as he was casted.
Okay.
That's why it was like 1, 2, 3, and he's slagging apart. The magic sent off. He goes deflect, and he goes blah, like that. So I mean, you totaled his ass.
And Ivar
Holy
just
shit.
throws the thing up, but just looks more with pity on him.
On what?
And then
Yeah, whatever that is.
Ivar, do we need the t-shirt cannon?
Shoot, I have to kill my Winamp because it froze.
Ivar just reaches up and he just looks around and he goes, Lucifer.
Ivar, get the shoebox.
Mm-mm.
Oh Jesus! Come out and play, yay!
There we
God,
go.
where's Colt? Colt would eat this guy up.
Stand by. 'Cause we got. this
Colt's
go-
dead and in hell.
Oh, so Copperfield's gonna show up and Colt's gonna be like, I've been waiting for you.
Now he's gonna go, sup?
Yeah. Hold on.
A very happy moth just landed on my lights.
Why wasn't it taking all of it?
Damn.
There we go. Yeah, I mean that is probably the most expressive killing in terms of like boss fights I've ever seen. Like it just the way that went down was ridiculous.
Crit. On the crucial moment, crit,
Yep.
followed by a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're watching this, like I said, just goes whap like that, and there's just like heat waves coming off from the massive force that was thrown at Ivar that he deflected back. And you're all just kind of standing there. Jekyll's getting pulled out there. Holy crap! What's up with the bear?
Dang. That's that's the person
Wow.
I think we should raid once we're done here.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
What
okay,
kind of
cool.
Stream is it? Is that a hot tub stream?
No, no, it's nuisance underscore EU. But like I just realized that his icon is the bear, which is funny because your icon is a bear.
Yeah.
So this is like bear and then nighttime bear.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So you guys completely did it. You're just sitting back like this. Barrick, you feel a pulse go out, and there's just kind of this weird feeling. And same thing with you, Ivar. You feel that same exact pulse. Riv, you too. You're just kind of shaken back into corporeal form again. And it's odd. Something's happened. You can see that both Michael and Dark Knight finally land down from where they were, having kept at a distance there. And they're just watching everything that you have going on. Michael approaches up to Ivar. He's like, of course, he's 20 feet tall at this point, looking down at you because he's inside of that mech.
That's my damn sword.
Ivar just looks and goes, Can you forgive me for losing your sword?
He ends up kneeling down just to a point where you're basically eyes at chest level. When he gets down to one knee, he's like, I think it'll come back whenever I need it. Not necessarily too concerned, Ivar.
Thanks for the help.
I'll
Thanks for the memories.
just basically kept him off your back. Jesus. You start looking around. There's casualties. A lot of them. And something happened just a minute ago.
Was that shot yours?
No. Something else. I can't exactly say what. Felt kind of familiar. Like I don't know, maybe a touch of grace. Just a little bit. Dark Knight lands shortly thereafter.
It was appreciated.
He's got doing some help with Jekyll and the rest. Barrick, X, you guys are going to be moving here towards the group at this point. Michael kind of reaches sensors for a minute. He's like, oh, son of a bitch. Takes a look over, and there is a person who comes walking coming into view, but you see his almost perfect optic camouflage go opaque, and he's got a long 50 caliber rifle in his hand. And the suit is very thin, form-fitting, very titanium weave and the rest of it. And he's moving up, but you notice the Dark Sun symbol patch that's like close to the arm there. But it looks like it's electrochromatic, so it can be taken away and put back anytime he wants. And all you hear from him is like, Michael. And he's, Wraith? What are you doing here? It's like, it's a big fucking mess. Something was going down and I had to get up close. After those blasts, I had to land by AV and hope that he didn't do it twice. And he's like, yeah, that's why I didn't touch down. He nods at everybody else. Oh yeah. You can't see his face. It's just a head silhouette. He ends up pulling it off. You can see this guy, he's got silvery gray hair that goes all the way back. And it's kind of white on top, a little bit streaked. You actually have detailed files, X. Wraith was... he's all human, by the way. There's no... He's been DNA refreshed, but he's not cybernetic at all. And he's got expert training. He's probably one of the most lethal human beings you know of. He is capable of stealthing in ways that most people can't even think of. There's reports that he was able to sneak up on werewolves and, survive the encounters without extra aid. So, but he's just like, I miscalculated the shot. I thought I was going to take him out the head, but looks like it hit just below the right collarbone.
It worked.
Thanks for the assist.
Actually, you did all the work. I couldn't have gotten in that close even to try it. Dark Sun sent me down here to make sure we could, I don't know, try and clean this, whatever this is, up. What a fucking mess.
Barrick's gonna... Hey, Firestorm.
Firestorm comes crackling back and he's like, yeah, boss, what's up?
Could you just let the technocracy know we took care of their Copperfield problem?
The who?
And we are willing to call it even.
I don't get it. What are you talking about?
How does X evaluate that statement?
You go searching for those files, you can't find anything.
Uh-huh.
They're gone.
Wait,
Good
who's
talking
gone?
to you.
You can actually hear Firestorm on all your comms like, do you guys get knocked in the head too many times? Y'all crazy now? What's happened?
Something like that.
I want to do a tactics roll for, well, basically he's doing a combat assessment for...
Wait, did we get knocked in the head? Yes.
Yes.
How many times?
No, but it's the why is the data missing. So he's bothered by the fact that the data is missing in his head.
So what data is missing? Copperfield data?
Technocracy.
Technocracy.
Oh, technocracy.
It's been wiped out of existence.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. The second
I got
that he
hit in
said
the
that,
head
I was
the
like,
first time.
oh.
So he's trying to assess whether the technocracy even exists anymore.
Can you
Like
even...
it was so tied to Copperfield that its continuity and all
Did
its
we
power.
fire him? Is that what happened?
Yeah. So think
We
about
break
it
the
this way:
threads out of
he's
the
trying to
pattern?
figure out if Copperfield was actually drawing the power from all the technocracy in a corrupted way, and in getting killed or vaporized their collective consciousness at the same time. Because he took control of them. Remember the beginning of the fight? He took control of the one, turned the technocracy on us.
Matrix Agent Smith them all.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So
And
That's
rooted
one way to
his
take
way
control.
into every single solitary, isolated server, knowing every bit of encryption and how to break it even if they changed it. And was able to do that in moments using both magic and massive genius.
Barrick's gonna flood his Nokia. Just double check it's still working.
Everything still seems to be in place. But yeah, Firestorm's utterly oblivious. He has no idea what the hell the technocracy is or why it was even there, what you're asking. But you guys still basically remember it. And at that point, the only person who doesn't stop moving is Michael. And you guys can, again, catch some kind of weird cold. And this figure who's standing, who wasn't there beforehand, just kind of is there now. It's kind of like you look away, look back, and it's kind of like a bad edit in a movie. He's just suddenly there when he shouldn't have been. Bald head, exquisitely gorgeous features, ravenously hungry white eyes, and just a grin on his face. And he's wearing very little, but mostly just kind of a sleeveless tank and what seems to be some kind of like hyper cut off shorts that almost go right up to the butt cheek. And he's just standing there barefoot looking over this thing. You recognize Lucifer for sure. And he's like, best damn vacation ever.
Ivar just walks up to him and holds out a hand.
Michael gets
Says,
right ahead of
"You're
you, though.
welcome."
He's just sort of like, he basically puts his hand on you. He's just like, back. Like that. Lucifer's like, oh, lay off, Michael. You're such a fucking tightwad.
And Ivar just kind of goes around him and goes, "You're welcome."
Oh, I kind of wish that you would have left him in one piece, but this is kind of funny. I mean,
And,
what do I do?
And Ivar just kind of goes down and goes, "Would you like to know where he hid the contract?"
Oh, I don't really need that. I've got that part covered. I actually need something else, and it's going to be right about. There you are. Like that, he goes reaching his hand over the top. You see this glowing little pulsing orb start to get drawn out of the vitrified concrete and sidewalk, and what's left of it anyway, in the streets. And it pulls up into his hand, and he just kind of grabs it like this, and he goes like. Oh, yes. He starts tossing it back and forth like it's some kind of hacky sack. So, Ivar, word of advice. I'm inevitable, and you can't beat me. You might get a little bit of an edge, and a squeaky little bit more time. But that doesn't stop me from coming after you if you make a deal and try to break it. Okay?
Fair enough. Thanks for the advice.
Oh, and thanks for the alley-oop. I'm going to leave you guys' memories intact. This is kind of resetting everything, just to let you know. You probably won't vaguely remember this too terribly well, but you will remember the technocracy as a whole, and the fact that you guys were responsible for this, because, I mean, gotta give you a trophy. What a bitch, right? Although, I will say this, he'll make one hell of an Angel of Midnight, let me tell you. He just gives the little, the orb a kiss like it's solid. And you can see it just kind of react. And he's like, but we're going to be playing together first, aren't we? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yeah, we're going to be a little puppy, aren't we? Like, he just starts going down into the earth and disappears. And Michael just goes like, ugh, God.
Reaper. Wow. Oh, that was.
So,
Wow.
Huh.
see you guys later.
I gotta feed my cat.
Gotta feed my cat.
Yeah.
The only thing that goes through Axel's mind is now we can correct deviancy properly.
Now we'll be the technocracy.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
How's Jekyll and Blue doing?
They're healing up, but they're battered as fuck. They did not take to doing things well. Blue is being held up by Jekyll, but Jekyll is still whirring servos and the rest of it. Whenever things snap back into motion again, the remembrance of what just happened, you know that you met him, the conversation's kind of blurred out, but the fact of the matter is that you are quite certain that Adrian's soul was taken away as recompense for breach of contract, and things have been settled back to a balance again. And it would appear that that is the way things are meant to have gone. But more importantly, you have Vasile, who's going to be radioing in, Firestorm coordinating it out, and emergency services are going to be heading this way, and everyone's got to work on being able to split. And you guys will be taking residence back at Vasile's manor house in the meantime while things settle down. It may seem to be kind of off the charts, but I'm thinking 80 IP as a proper send-off is definitely excellent. Yeah, you guys will now be officially capable of revealing these as cameo characters in other parts if I ever do stories, the rest of it, because I intend their stories to go on and shit. I'm more than willing to replay them in different ways. Post-game is sort of a high-octane kind of element, but this campaign is at a close. And
Wow. That's cool.
And
1300 IP.
Ivar, where the
Oh yeah,
hell
where did
is
we
it?
end up?
I had 1373 IP earned.
Yep. Yep.
And Ivar has enough IP to wipe out combat paralysis.
Oh, gee.
That's a good way to end him.
Nice.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Feeling good.
And
Ivar, round 2.
yeah. Fucking wild, dude. I can't believe that you managed to make a crit on that last roll of all
The one that would have
times.
killed you.
All
Yeah.
times. It would have, yeah.
And you know, I'm
So-
telling you, in my head, how I saw Ivar that whole time is, it's the calmest you've ever seen Ivar. Just a completely calm, like he, freaked out, went down, but when he came out in this sort of calm, and that was a beautiful ending. I mean, the whole story arc of this was just beautiful.
Well, and I mean, you got a stack of notes to frackin' prove it too. Um,
Well, the funny thing is, did I ever tell you the Tanky Tank story?
no.
So we were playing a Dark Heresy campaign, and the DM had spent over a month cultivating this beautiful going through a 40k battle scene until he ultimately confronted a Chaos Space Marine. Big fucking battle. So his wife rolls, I want a tank. It's like, why? Oh, fine, roll. So she rolls and crits like Ivar does. And we fight a Baneblade. Now, Baneblade's the size of a building. So we just basically take the Baneblade, ride it through the entire battlefield because nothing can hurt it, and we run over the Space Marine. So congratulations, you had your tanky tank moment. You just ran over the Space Marine.
Thank you, Tank.
Tank, tank, tank.
Right.
I loved it. I'm sitting back going, tanky, tank, tank.
So
Mhm.
here's how this basically plays out as far as I'm concerned. Vasile will go through and take measures to make each and every one of you, um, black sinless, so that you have no chance of being found out in any other way except for extraordinary means. He manages to push through, of course, requesting that maybe you all kind of remain on retainer for a while, but you can develop, go back to apartments and things like that, or get upgrades. Everybody will have the chance to, go back to a much more quiet existence. As a matter of fact, Dravis, who had been knocked out prior to this, will recover and spend a good deal of his time with the underdwellers, trying to help the shelter out, making sure that no more supernatural nasties get involved. Jekyll will eventually be fully repaired and back to his job bouncing at the bar and entertaining Agent X on human affairs as the robotic human expert that he's supposed to be, trying to teach him how to behave and have manners and so on. Riv, you will have the opportunity to explore and study these gauntlets in a much greater, unparalleled degree. And, of course, the reward for all of this stuff is, like I said, you get your own apartment or a place to live, something like that. Vasile offering his resources to help you in all of your archaeological endeavors so that you can start learning how to manipulate even more of that. And, Ivar, nobody really fucking knows what you want, dude. So he basically
Oh my
says
God.
the door is open, and if you have a crazy idea, which I'm sure you'll have thousands, you are more than welcome to come back to the manor house and tinker away. And it is found out that Douglas did perish in his home. There was a funeral hosted, which people could show up to. There were several staff and people like that who had come across for that particular funeral, and it will be approximately 5 to 6 years before the next game even starts. Having everything calmed down, the outsiders drifting into the periphery, not becoming much of a threat, and leaving things to be much less molested than what they had before. The veil and the balancing of things finally being snapped back into place. And
Reality.
Yep, Ivar X and Riv will also notice that magic has changed. Something has happened where there is a vast awakening wave of individuals who are starting to know and understand how magic works, and there is no technocracy trying to bash them down or incorporate them into their massive global organization. And there has been new things, new things coming, and so it's been a wholly different streak. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of like that. Each and every one of you has the opportunity to either properly retire or retire with doing jobs you want to do. Showing up here and there for random stuff, but yeah. And
I think Ivar.
honorary member of the Hunter.net for Barrack for sure.
I think Ivar made his way to an alley near the Silk Road, where he just kind of pops in and out, but for the most part, looks like just any bum on the street drinking, and when he's needed, you'll find him.
Sounds like a plan.
Agent X is going to continue with Jekyll exploring humanity because it's curious.
Yep.
And because now there's no technocracy to keep things in check, he's going to, now that he understands, like he understands what deviancy truly is.
Oh yeah, he saw Ivar.
So no, Copper
Adrian.
and the
I know what
Adrian,
you meant.
technocracy. So
Oh, yeah.
he's resuming the technocracy's role, but not as the technocracy. Right? It's balance.
He's his own
It's
balance,
actually
yeah.
it's the
He's Anubis.
it's the you can't go too far. You can't just, there are certain lines you just don't cross. And since he's been exposed to all those lines now, he has his moral compass, Jiminy
Yep.
and Cricket, and then Jekyll. It's
Cricket.
like, this is like, I think I should take care of this. And Jekyll going, that's probably a good idea. No, I don't think we should. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to become like essentially a neo-technocracy, but
Yeah.
just a kinder, gentler
New principles.
extermination unit.
Watchmen.
Who watches the Watchmen?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, we did it. 2 years though.
So I'm curious, what happens to Barrack? Does he just become part of
Barrack is
Hunter.net, and that
Barrack is probably going to utilize a great
retired.
deal of his low tech capabilities
Barrack's
and
gonna meet someone and say, "Hi, Leon."
yeah, that'll be the fucking day, right there. That's when he's actually retired.
Barrack's
But-
actually gonna go try and locate that girl that came out of Colt's head.
Ah,
And,
so he's going to go hunting for what is it, Dorothy, I believe.
And see if he can.
There's a story
take a
there.
Second swing at fatherhood.
Well, remember, demons, when they die, they go back to their home dimension.
Well, it was what was her name? Was it Liana? I can't remember. but it
Is
was-
something else.
Yeah, it was the little girl that you guys managed to pull through, and Barrack is there's a
Yeah.
story there. I would really love to see that actually, is Barrack being caretaker to this girl who has to learn how to deal with what she is and what she's been changed into.
Yeah, that's. I had that planned for Barrack like after that happened, that I was like, because then he was trying to like, hey, I'm Leon, how can I I'm
Yeah.
here, can I get you anything, whatever, and so his he's gonna take a second swing at fatherhood.
Yep. So he'll do that, and she's at Vasil's manor. So, and he would have no problem with passing the mantle of that responsibility over. But yeah, that's pretty much the epilogue. Everybody kind of manages to do their own thing, and they don't have this vastly incredible, potent agency hunting them down. And
Yeah, I was
you've become even more
concerned
discreet
about
than
how
before.
we're gonna work on how we're gonna get rid of them.
Yeah, nope. It was because Bill was absolutely correct. He basically infested the entirety of the technocracy in a hostile takeover, and then you wiped him out, and it was because it was too soon to conjure up multiple copies and make something of it to persist it.
Because we
Mm.
kept him unbalanced the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
we
guys
did
kept
hammer
shaking him up. And by the way, Wraith is one of my absolute favorite fucking characters ever, and I don't get to cameo him much, but he works for Dark Sun specifically, and I was like, they'd have a fucking play in this, because once Michael's deployed, Wraith would be going out too. And, yeah.
Well, Natasha Silver would definitely have basically a little bit of a chip on her shoulder with Copperfield to begin with.
Oh, hell yeah. So she got her lick in whenever he got shot from the back without even being able to counter it. Yeah, that mother was using duck rounds, the depleted uranium rounds, so it was basically super nat killers.
We gotta remember, our group had a lot of connections we built over time.
Yes. And
Yeah, Riv is connected to Void.
Yep. She still
Yeah,
has
right?
access to a freaking outsider.
Riv's gonna
We
go
have-
interdimensional treasure hunting.
I still can't believe that crit.
I can't either. It was probably the most epic,
I
like enemy death I've ever
it's
seen.
just still sitting there on the screen.
So I'm presuming had Ivar gotten anything less than a 10, Ivar would be dead.
No, you guys were on par. See, the problem is that bullet,
Oh.
that bullet hit and it knocked him into a pain element where he had -8 on his roll, which took him from a 24 to a 16.
Oh wow.
So I was like, it's possible for Ivar to deflect because Ivar finally has even footing because he was in so much pain trying to counteract that he couldn't like make the attack as potently. If he was at full strength, he would just have been like flap like that, and that would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
But the crit would have stopped him from doing it. Still, he would have had to have critted
How
at
did-
least once
How did he break all of Ivar's magic?
using counter spells.
His counter spells were just more powerful than
Well,
Ivar's.
so the thing that we haven't had a chance to discuss yet is the staff that Adrian was using. That is a
Yeah,
highly hostile focus, and it offers 4 automatic successes as long as it's in his possession. So he was
Wow.
going crank, 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 crank without having to worry about it. So,
Does it
What hap-
require use
what
of a
happens
hand
to
and
the
an
staff?
eye as well?
fair question.
The Vecna.
Was
the
the
thing-
staff destroyed?
No, but the staff couldn't be held by Ivar because of his true faith. It was an infusion of demonic and standard arcane magic. The other thing too is that it was made out of demonic flesh and bone, so he's using resources on Phobos to create his own foci, and managed to create this viciously bloodthirsty item. Yeah. So he finally broke free of the enchantment that locked him in there, managed to create an anchor so that he could summon up his army. That was the whole plan. You guys saw it in action. He basically was going to do that, but he warped and transmuted a whole bunch of these demons to make sure that they were under his sway. Got a chance to get out, did it, and then on his exit, you guys showed up and blew his ass to pieces.
I could see Ivar
He
working with
really-
Violet Dolorosa to maintain the Silk Road a bit.
I imagine.
Ivar had a thing for her.
He probably will have a thing for her forever. He likes dangerous women.
Yeah, but he was
I like
always like
Riv.
flirting with her and always getting these great roles where it was like,
Oh yeah,
Right.
every etiquette roll you like maxed out.
Yeah, I mean, she was intrigued by you. That was for sure. Because you managed to be just not creepy, gross enough that she was like, I don't know, he's kind of cute for an old fart. You know, it's kind of like that.
Isn't he like 28 or something? Like
he's in his 20s.
Yeah, he just doesn't look like it. He just looks like ass.
He has an old soul.
Yeah. Greta's
Well,
giving us
you
the
saw
weird
what
eyes.
happens when he drops his, when Ivar drops the reality that makes him look like a bum.
Yeah.
he gets ripped.
Yeah, well, so obviously at some point, this is kind of where things get interesting because we're going to have a session 0 at this point to create the new ones. Get everybody kind of pushed back
Use
in.
that as a kind of a world building or one of your game sessions, game brain sessions.
I think it's a good next week to sit down and work. That would be a good way to go, and then we pause because then I take off from my.
Well, and that's
my
where I have
summer
to
trip.
more or less do another kind of play testing as well. I have to hand the reins off to someone else to run this shit. So,
Scott.
yeah, as a matter of fact, at some point. But I'll be running, obviously campaigns for, peeps during the weekends. Every other weekend, I'm going to get that together. So that was between Bill and myself and whomever. Oh, and this would be kind of where Covey gets the opportunity to jump in if she wants. So, because that'll
Get
be.
Covey up in there.
Yep.
Well, D, I just want to say thank you. This has been just, I mean, what have we been doing this now for 2 years, 2.5
Yeah.
years?
Over.
Yeah.
I think it's
Oh.
over. That the stories that we developed here were just. I mean, I'd go to sleep afterwards and just think about them. And this is my Friday. It's like, go away, kids. I'm going to think about this story. It was so, just so well done. It's such a beautiful game.
Hey Drew, you know what we should do over the next few months is get a summary of each of our sessions going, and like make like an outline of our whole campaign, and then maybe pass it over to D to start doing some creative comments on it.
Well, not just
I
that,
mean,
but tabulate your notes, organize it, and
That's what I mean.
like,
That's why I was talking
yeah,
to Drew, and
so
I
that
started
he can
taking notes
write a
later
book.
on, but yeah, that's
Well,
what I
Really,
mean.
like, yeah, three-sentence summary.
the plan is there's this thing at my work called a copy machine, and it
Send it
makes
to me.
these
I'll
things
transpose it.
it makes things into PDFs. Oh no, it'll take my handwriting and turn it into a Word document.
Oh, it's OCR. Nice.
Yep.
And so the goal is
Do
to
it.
send this through and see what comes out,
Let's do it. Yeah.
and then send a copy up your way.
Yeah. That'll be good, because then I can start doing some creative writing pieces that are around this kind
Hey,
of
you
thing.
know what? Every time I've always played a tabletop game, I always either die in the first two sessions or first session, or
Poor Bill. Hell, I've
or,
managed to kill
everyone
Barrack
just
4
disappears.
times, but what was it, 3 times, 4 times? If it hadn't have been for those 9 lives.
That
Yeah,
part needs to
I
be
was at-
balanced, because that's
Well-
That thing needs to be nerfed.
So Scott
Yeah.
talked about
Okay.
the painting and all. That's why I came up with the triptych. Is the 3 lives of Bill during the campaign, Aethgar the Red, Colt. Like the
Okay.
mid act is Colt's death. Effects.
You're right.
That was a beautiful.
So can I
ending.
tell you guys, our first session was 5/21/2020.
It is. That's really close to exactly
Whoa.
2 years.
Yeah, that's right on top of
Yeah.
it.
Dang.
Yowzers, yeah.
And
Okay,
I know this because I
when
have a
was-
note from Bill saying, "Kick him in the nuts with your power leg."
5/21/2020 is what that was. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So he kicked it just over the top of a 2-year mark.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And-
56
and
episodes, or 59.
Basically playing, every week.
Almost every week.
Yeah, almost every week. Yeah, because we've had weekends
Yeah.
and vacation
59
points.
weeks.
And we also had a couple of months that we just completely tore out for world building only, that kind of thing.
I was gonna say, yeah, we did. I would say this is of in-game sessions 59, but easily we did like 10 like world building sessions.
In addition to that, yeah.
Mhm,
See, I love
You know-
ending a campaign because it's always that. It's a strange sense of disappointment that you're not continuing with these characters initially, but at the same time, serenity. Like that's why I post that, because it's like
Serenity now.
I'm
Yeah.
calm. I feel it's like a very good cathartic moment. So
And the music
The
helps.
story arc is
Yeah.
yeah, well,
the
you know,
story arc is complete, and I'm just grateful that to be able to. I've always wanted to take a character from beginning and run them all the way through, and max them out.
Nice.
But look, what's the prize for ending well? If you can survive, your characters step off and become characters in the game.
That's
Does that make you feel
D-
good there, Bill?
D,
Yes.
can I have that as a quote in the book,
Why not?
please? Just like at the beginning,
Session 1. Welcome to
session
Shadows.
1.
It won't went down. It won't end well, I'm sure.
I actually want a T-shirt of that. That should be the T-shirt for Shadows. Welcome to Shadows. It won't end well, I'm sure.
Yeah, defy the odds, man. Defy the odds. And I definitely intend for the next session to be much more invested in the characters as a whole. This was definitely my usual high octane kind of whatever else, and it still has a lot of story attached to it. But I want some deeply narrative connections with the next series of characters.
Using the actual skills, the social skills.
Well, because this one
street
we weren't
level.
sure where it was going to go, but I know how dedicated everybody is now, so I'm sitting there going like, all right, now we can do that stuff so that the next campaign, when it ends, we're all bawling. That's.
I mean, I've wiped away a couple.
By the
I
way,
was definitely
fucking
crying
excellent
with,
4 shots too. By the way, using your lucks to just be like, all right, powered up.
I was like, what am I saving this damn luck for?
Yeah. You're like, fuck it, just pile it on. Plow, 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 plow. Like.
And I knew there was a reason I created a Titan.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, if you hadn't have done that, and it probably would have been a total team wipe. Actually, I was concerned about that because he did have big ass fucking spells he was hanging on to for all kinds of stuff. Yeah, all I could say was yikes. But I
I
rolled
have no
that.
idea how much damage Barrick took off of that, but instant.
So
I had 200 hit points. So.
yeah, you ended up
death.
taking, because the thing about that is that he had a shield, right? It broke right at the end.
Mhm.
Then he had the barricade, which was 200 points, and then you're 30, right? But
Right,
there was that
and then-
whole wave that happened right afterwards. You got smashed, and like I said, you ended up dying because it was just over 200. But you
Yeah.
happened to sort of slip between the cracks, so to speak, and not get hit with the brunt that would have like outright destroyed you. You just happened to have your whole left side all fucked up and like took those shots. So
Well, that's yeah. He didn't move to shoot. He got
Yeah.
himself to a spot.
Yep. Straight up Terminator, dude, where he's like up the thing and just launches the damn grenade launcher.
Yeah.
By the way, Riv with the "I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you."
Oh, come on, it's on par with our characters. Annoy the shit out of the villain to such an extent that they're distracted and then blow them up. I mean, tell me I'm wrong with our pattern.
Well, what I was wanting to
Little
do was
thunder,
to,
little light.
Lightning?
yeah, I was wanting to become tangible, like fly through him, become tangible, and then do something to his back. But that never came about because we destroyed him after that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, I've been spending the last week trying to figure out how the hell to stop this son of a bitch because I kept realizing like Ivar's powers weren't working. I'm like, he needs to just throw physical things at this guy.
Yep, and you sorted it out. You are correct. It caused him to get distracted. You kept trying to manipulate him and the circumstances around him, and every time he felt that magic coming on, he would just be like, nope. Because he just had so much... he just had so much advantage on the number of successes. That focus he was using just gave him automatic like runs, and then he had an evocation. He had an evocation discipline of 9, so he was just like running straight through. He almost was as powerful as Ivar, but that staff just made the difference. It just seriously anything threshold 4 he automatically succeeded at. Everything else was gravy, which is why he was just so
It was
hard hitting.
interesting. I had Ivar kind of in the back of my head. I wanted him to do an occult roll and figure out how to stop that staff and learn more about it. But he just, through the play, we went a different direction.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful, just beautifully done.
BEA beautiful.
Yeah. I wanted a very specific death for him somehow or another. I was like, it can't end with just kind of a splat unceremoniously or something like that. I was like, come on, come on. By the way, he only had 2 dice to roll to pull off that spell he was going to do. Whenever he was that first time you guys almost had him, because when you sent those rocks up to smash him, I only had 2 dice to roll, and I'm like, fuck, come on. I rolled 2 8s. He rolled 2 8s. I'm like, 6 successes. That is definitely enough to cocoon himself, for what he needs and to block enough of the damage that he would survive it. It's like, okay, he at least got past that part. Whew. Now let's see if the rest of the team can survive what the fuck he has next.
Well, I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, just he kept smashing us. We turned around and started smashing him. He
Hulk
smashed
smash.
us,
We blocked it,
and then did we?
You were there, technically.
We survived.
They blocked him. You just stood there and was like, "Whom." Like,
But did you die? Just Barrick.
yeah. It's gonna be a
Better
lot
hide.
more. It's gonna be so
Not
like,
better.
yeah. The 3.5 is gonna be a lot more temperate, a lot more tempered, I should say. It still has the capacity to get to these heights of nuts, but I love the fact that you're still thinking about that. Shirts would be awesome. It's still capable of reaching
Merch.
this kind of cinematic crazy because, God, who would want it to reach that point?
That's what I was about to say. Thank you. Thank you, Scott.
Got it locked in.
Yeah.
But it will definitely be a slightly harsher climb, but it'll be worth it. And like I said, I am intending to create, a storyline that'll have. Like I said, I want us bawling by the time we get done with the next one. I want us so invested. We're gonna have like families, friends, hotspots, everything else like that, and we're gonna remember it like it was some other reality. And that's where I'm shooting for next. I want us crying, goddammit, when it's over.
That's funny.
Well, yeah.
We made it to number 1 in the TTRPG
Yeah,
category.
we're the top stream.
Yay!
100%.
Good to be number 1. All right.
We are number 1. Did you see that to the casually hardcore streamer? I think he's still going. Yeah.
So the one with the bear
EU.
nuisance.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna go and check him out.
Let's raid that brother.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna head off to bed because I still have school in the morning.
Yeah.
And I had to be up at 4.
Yep.
So,
Me too, buddy. Me too.
Let's go hit up that other guy and show them some love. And this is a good stream.
that was
Yeah.
an amazing campaign. Thank you for letting me
Yeah.
con you into joining.
Yeah, you conned Scott in.
Frackin'-lutely.
Hey,
All right.
Bill,
Great way
do
to
you think
end.
we should do another night? Yeah, we probably should do a second night of gaming.
Thanks,
Alright.
Grayley. Yep. GG.
Thanks, Grayley.
All right, here we go. Right away.
Adios.
I guess.